Hello.
Hello,
Good, good,
everyone.
good.
And this might feel like a fever dream. It's been like I could say this been like a whole year since the last time we do this, and this time is at very abnormal time as well. It's basically midnight for the people in like +8 countries like China or Singapore right now. But yeah, welcome back after one whole year to the next episode of the Bar Table.
Yo.
Uh, if you've watched the previous ones, you've probably never seen me or Kerching, so we should probably
Mm-hmm.
introduce ourselves.
Yeah, a lot has
Yeah,
changed
thanks for
since then. Then a lot,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think a lot of things has changed in general, right? I'm pretty sure like the last time we did like podcast, we did the Bar Table podcast. It was in 5.5. It just like 9 months ago. What happened 9 months ago? It could be in May, right? Where were we then?
9 months ago. That's a really long time to actually remember.
Kerching's a historian here. He knows what was happening in the.
Not exactly, because I can't tell what patches we were during like 9 months ago.
Like the last time we were at 5.5, and 5.5's episode name is We Are at Soup.
Oh, you mean the Mystic Soup version?
Yeah, the Mystic Soup version.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we have gone like a long way since then, really. And so like I think like right now it could like be like too much for us to like explain to everyone what has happened since then. So like I'm not quite sure if we should even do that.
But before any of that, I think we should just go over the recent patch stuff because there's a lot. There was a lot of things that changed between 5.5 and right now. So we'll have a lot of time to talk about that, but I think people want to know the current patch notes or the balance changes that came out in Luna 5. So why don't we start with that?
All right. I think the best way to do it because this episode I have to like disclaimer first. Put a disclaimer here first. This episode is very scuffed, so we don't really have slides for now, but we will eventually have one like 6 weeks from now when we start at quick one on the next version. So right now, Coffin, let's show us what's new.
Alright.
Sure. Well, I got a list here of stuff that came out in the most recent patch. Oh, you got my screen out. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me
Yeah.
show up the decks. These are not the decks that are good right now, by the way. I can... These are all tentative, and we're in the middle of figuring out the meta. In GP rank, this list has been going around, and people are calling it or saying it's pretty good. I think it's mid. I think it looks pretty mid. There's a lot of ways to exploit, and a lot of ways to exploit. There's a lot of ways to turn it on its head and just get rid of its weird gimmicks.
Yeah.
But people like it, so who am I to judge?
But apparently, like a lot of people in JP rank are just playing with this deck, and then they're trying to figure it out, like how to make it more consistent, or maybe, or what else can they actually change to match into some other matchups. But
Yeah,
as of for now, as of for current version of this deck, it's just kind of scattered and organized. I mean, the one key thing is that yeah, people are playing with the new, what's it called, elemental transfiguration.
yeah. This is okay. There's 3 characters that came out. Don't think about them. Don't care about them. They do not matter in the current meta. The actual meta shifting release that came out in this patch are these guys, the elemental transfigurations. We have 2 right now. We have the superconduct version, and we have the vape version. Where is it?
The
Where is it?
vaporize. You should be seeing it. Oh yeah, right there. I kind of think it's kind of interesting because these cards are actually support cards, but like they actually like sorted in like after the Arcane Legends cards for some reason. They're not following the basic card building categories.
Yeah. Okay,
But yeah,
so
they are all support cards.
okay. If you guys don't know, the cards in the game are organized into 3 different types. We got support cards. These are the ones that go in your support zone. You got event cards, which you play and then it'll produce an effect immediately without needing to have like a support zone or a summon zone to eat up.
You basically
And
use it, it's gone.
yeah, and it's gone.
And yeah, the rest are also event cards.
And the ones all the way to the left are equipment cards.
Equipment.
They go on your characters.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the elemental transfiguration stuff. They are counted as support cards. So playing them doesn't trigger event card statuses. So, for example, Judgment, the new Judgment, its trigger condition is when you play an event card. This is not an event card, so it won't trigger it, which is pretty good.
Exactly.
And because
yeah, this also includes the other 2 option cards that as soon as you trigger the first reaction of the transfiguration, you get to choose one out of 2, and both of them are also support cards. So just feel free to play them if you ready to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But first things first, let's actually explain what the cards do.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I played it plenty, and I'm well aware of this. Okay, here we go. Let me give you guys a rundown. Actually, let me give you guys a demonstration. I don't know. I'm giving you guys a rundown. Let's go to Gary. Oh, Gary, my good friend Gary. Ooh, new mail. Gary's gone.
I know, Gary. Now that you have to choose someone else,
Let's go Yumi.
you're not worthy enough to match into Gary.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Go to Yumi. And I'm just gonna play the deck that's active right now. There you go. Okay, so the way it works is after the mulligan phase, the card just pops into your hand, and you get to play, or it self summons itself on your support zone. So let me just
exactly.
get rid of this real quick.
And also a little funny thing about it is that mechanically it's self-tutored to your hand, and then it discards itself.
Yeah.
It self-discards itself mechanically.
Here's another interesting quirk with how the card works. Notice how after the dice mulligan, I have 4 usable. It will tune my cards, and it'll give me 8 usable, which is part of what makes it super broken.
Yeah, you just technically have a consistent round 1 every single game.
Yes, it is very good, especially for aggro decks that depends a lot on dice rolls in terms of pulling off their round 1 lines. So it is very good. Like baseline, just this effect, it drawing itself from your deck and then tuning the dice for you, is already really good in terms of a consistency tool.
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys are veteran TCG players, you guys always know that getting to build your deck with actually smaller size is actually an advantage rather than disadvantage, because you effectively making your deck thinner, making your auto draws become more consistent.
It turns your deck from a 30 size deck into a 29 size deck, which is also another very good thing.
Exactly. So you're probably just gonna play it most of the time that your team matches whatever condition of the transfiguration require.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go over the other effects of the transfiguration outside of just that. Also, it will only do this effect, the part where it draws itself from the deck and then tunes your dice, if your team is made up of the elements that are showcased in the reaction. So for Super Conduct, you can only run Electro and Cryo characters. You can't
basically you have to have resonance of the element which is a part of the reaction.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over Elemental Transfiguration's 2 effects. We got Deep Freeze and we got Electric Surge. Wait, let me rush through this. I actually need to trigger the reaction so that it lets me select. Yumi, move faster, please. Okay.
She's trying.
Okay, while she's moving, let's talk about the effects. Deep freeze, it's okay. It's kind of mid. In terms of impacting the game state, it slightly inconveniences the enemy depending on which card the debuff hits or the taxes hits, which is fine. But it's not as game-changing of an effect as the second one, which is Electric Surge, which is what makes this deck good, by the way. I'll explain it once we can see the effects on the screen, once it pops. All right, give us the stuff.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Okay, here we go. We can see it.
All right, now that we have to choose. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Electric Surge and we got Deep Freeze. Let's go with Deep Freeze first. So it says roll phase, always roll 2 cryo, 2 electro. This isn't like the other effect, by the way, where it fixes the dice after you roll. This is more similar to if you've ever played the elemental artifact sets. It
And J Chamber.
Yeah, and Jade Chamber, yeah, it is New Jade Chamber too, where it automatically rolls your dice to 2 cryo and 2 dice or 2 electro at the start of the dice mulligan. So it guarantees those 2 dice, and then it rolls the rest of the 4 dice on whichever ones you get.
Yeah.
And in terms of affecting your consistency in dice rolling, it's dependent on whether or not you want both dice types in terms of adding to your consistency. I think, and I'm not a math major, but overall, if you use both, then it does increase your consistency in terms of rolling the dice you want. But if you're only trying to roll for one specific dice type, then I think it actually slightly hurts you.
Yeah, I also do think about that because you basically your dice roll is basically getting rigged by the 2 element that you are not planning to use whatsoever.
Yeah, so you lose 2 dice to roll effectively if you have this support card on your thingy. Well, anyway, enough about the weird stuff about the dice.
That's just basically the share effect between the two options. Yeah, they are both the same, and what we matter more is their individual effect.
For Deep Freeze, I just call it the cryo version, though. It says that after an allied character deals physical or cryo, it attaches a status on the enemy's cards that are in their hand. They got Untunable, which is here, which means the card
basically making it a forbidden knowledge. If you guys already know about forbidden knowledge,
and cost increase, which is the taxes. It increases the cost of the card. This cost increase is taken into account when it comes to cards that look at the cost of a deck of a card to determine its effect. So, for example, if it's Skirk Chaska and your bullet gets hit with this, the bullet can no longer be discarded by the Void Rift.
Or for another example is that, for example, Golden Truth, the 2-cost artifact, when it gets hit by a cost increase, it becomes like 3 cost card, and Golden House can actually discount it back to 2 costs.
And also another funny interaction with the cost increase is if you've ever played the arcane card Covenant of Rock, which is the one that has Ajdaha in it, that card effectively becomes unplayable. Because for it, a trigger condition for it is you need to have 0 dice. But if you have 0 dice, then you can't use dice to pay for it.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's a really funny interaction for such a card. And do remember that this card is also really conditional, so like most of the time it will be sitting on your hand and will probably get hit by the tax.
Okay, but in terms of real game effects and outside of this niche interactions with specific cards, the problem with it is it can affect the game plan of the enemy, but also it cannot. It can just be completely ignored depending on the cards it hits. And even when it does hit the certain cards that you want it to hit, the enemy could still opt into paying the extra cost if they think it's worth to just brute force their way through and get the value from their card anyway.
So for a quick example, we have Ball Princess maybe. So Ball Princess is basically a +2 dice, so getting hit by one tax doesn't really matter. I still get +1.
Yeah, and because it'll be a 1 dice cost card, it doesn't matter which alignment it is, it'll just cost you one more dice. So it's not as big of a hit.
Yeah, but that's kind of niche, and it kind of hits like some card that with extra high cost, for example, Bolt or maybe 5-cost talent like Zhongli.
Yeah. It's mid. It's all around kind of a mid effect, but it's nice in terms of just getting extra value because it's very cheap. It's 1 cryo. You can set it and forget it if you just want it to be on your field to give you the extra tuning as well. So it can impact your game, and it's relatively unobtrusive in your game plan in terms of the cost that it wants you to pay. But overall, it's not as impactful as this card, which is the primary linchpin of this deck. It's what enables this deck to output the value that is requisite of a deck to be good in this kind of meta. Okay, so let's go over what it actually does. Here we go. We got super conduct reaction. After you trigger a super conduct reaction, so keyword here is after you trigger. There's no specific condition on what you need to do to trigger the super conduct. As long as a super conduct reaction occurs, that is okay. This is a bit weird in terms of determining the root cause, because there's certain effects that are like, you would think that you're the one triggering it, but technically it's the enemy triggering it. But we'll go over that later. Just keep in mind, your summon can trigger this effect, your characters can trigger this effect, follow-up attack effects could trigger this effect, and stuff like this, where you play an event card, and then you trigger this, I forgot what it's called, Skirk Talent.
The Skirk Talent, using Void Rift.
This also, if you trigger a super conduct from this, it also counts as you triggering a super conduct.
Yeah,
so
basically, based on how the wording is just basically whatever super conduct reaction triggered by your side, by whatever status is, by whatever character or card that you play, or be applied to.
Yeah. No, actually, I do have like an interesting thought about it. What if ambusher like?
Yeah, exactly. Like so.
No.
This is exactly what we were trying to refer to. So you basically, because the ambusher is actually like a status applied to your side of the field. So when you self-trigger the superconduct, it actually also works, which is really crazy.
Yeah, but also if your enemy is the one that's applied with the ambusher and they trigger the superconduct on themselves, you won't get this effect. So
and one other character that can also like trying to apply, and it is so happen to be Cryo as well, and that would be Signora and Charlotte's skill.
Also, for those who don't know, Ambusher is the Fatui Resonance card that you need to run 2 Fatui characters to include into your deck.
Oh, and speaking of Fatui character, I do think like the CC mages can also self-apply Cryo or Electro respectively. So if you try to cleanse them with this niche effect, you could also get value out of this thing. But anyway, nobody plays CC mages. We don't care about them.
Also, we didn't actually talk about the effect. It's very simple. It just deals 2 HP to the highest HP, 2 piercing damage. Emphasis on the piercing damage here, on the highest HP character.
Yeah, and on opponent's side.
Because
now that we actually have some effect that can actually hit your own character. So, for example, you have Plan to Save the World. You don't actually hit your own character, but basically, you know what I mean. Anyway,
I'm gonna grab this card and we're gonna play it this round.
Oh look, perfect hand. You didn't overdraw.
True. This deck has a bit of a hand size issue because
Yeah, so
it generates void drifts and
yeah.
let's
And then
go.
the Asphyr cooking pot, and then you have the transfiguration selection just now. So plus
we have
3, and
full-
then another 2 from your start of the round.
Keep in mind, I did not play any card draw effects, and I already have a full hand, so we're gonna have to manage our hand very carefully. Okay. Now then, this is a very simple round 2 game plan. We just swap back to Yai, and we're gonna skill once on her, and then I'm gonna play a Void Rift. Wait, can I even? Oh, I do. Okay, we got Flying Squad.
Yeah. You do have a 3 cost, but remember that your transfiguration is also 3 cost, which will have a chance to be discarded.
Can I afford this? I can't. Can
What?
I?
I think you can. I mean, you have a Sleepy. Technically, you discount the transfiguration by 1.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, just play Sleepy if you want to.
You are
And
correct.
use it.
And we can skill. And we still have Pariah Dice to pay for
Yep.
talent.
Smooth as butter. There we go.
For this.
Alright, here's the talent. And then, yeah, that one.
Boat.
Both for
Funny
fun.
boat.
Both for fun. Both for fun.
I love boats.
Yeah, and
Okay.
now, here we go. Now you play the Void Rift.
That will play 1 Electro.
I mean, 1 Cryo. Yeah.
Or 1.
And then we can now end the
Yeah.
trigger Yai summon.
Yeah. And this will trigger this thing's effect. And it'll do 2 HP to the.
Oh, that's fine. Alright. And here's a super conduct. And here's the damage. There we go. -2 on visuals for being the highest HP from opponent's side.
Should I play this?
I mean, nah, technically not. It's just gonna, it's just gonna fix your bolts.
This is a perfect
Also-
time to have let him, because if I can let him, I can swap to Skirk and double kill both Yoi and Fischl here, which will only leave Ayaka, who by herself is not that much of a threat. But unfortunately, we'll have to sit here. That's fine though. I don't know if I'm rolling the dice correctly. I'm sure it's
I think, I think you're fine.
fine. We could just Gilded NA the Yoi as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Sure.
also thinking another direction is that you can also play the Void Rift, and then you trigger the Superconduct, and that will
Oh.
hit Ayaka to 1 HP.
Yeah, wait, I should have. Damn it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it just fixed the bolts, and probably the
Ooh.
I'm sure it's
No,
that.
no, 3 cost.
See, -3 on Ayaka.
What a waste.
That's
of it.
fine. That's fine. I mean, also you forgot the gambler.
It's gonna die, dude. But
I
it's
mean,
dead.
it's not much of that important in terms of showcasing
Oh, really?
some mechanic here.
Yeah. But yeah,
And you
this
could
is
just always discard.
the basic gist of what makes this deck good. You just get a bunch of free value from this transfig, and you can
Yeah.
just spam SCs and do a bunch of damage.
Yeah. Also, Coffin, can you do me a favor?
What is it? What do you
Can you
want?
please play the Stumpter's Lair, get Skirt Talon, and then snipe Ayaka, and then finish up with a beautiful burst?
Oh my god, you're a genius. Why did I think of
I am. I know I'm a genius.
He
No,
knows
I'm
how
actually
to
not.
bots? He's a genius. Also, look at his boat. 5 unaligned. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, tune it, and when you tune it, you're actually getting Omni Dice.
Wait, I do?
Ah,
Yes,
yeah.
because it's empower. Yeah. It's just basically empowerment is also one of the newest mechanic here, alongside with tax, untunable, and I think that's everything, right? And cost reduction.
Yeah, okay, and we can kill Fischl. Very fun.
So yeah, basically empowerment is just a form of dice fixing. Rather than fixing your own die, you are fixing the cost of your cards you're about to play.
Okay, yeah.
So for example, if you apply empowerment to your Zhongli talent, it will become 5 unaligned, and you'll be using Zhongli 5 cost skill with the talent for a 5 unaligned.
Yeah. Alright, that's one of the elemental transfiguration effects. We have another one with the vape elemental transfiguration, which is right here. I'm not gonna showcase this one because this deck is very slow. This is a very slow deck. It's a crab deck, so it won't be as quick to showcase compared to the SC deck. So I'll hold off.
This deck, spoiler alert, this deck is undercooking, so
I am
don't
not
try this at home.
trying to fix up this deck. I won't get into the nitty gritty. I'll just talk about it.
Yeah, you could just explain the other two from this reaction.
Same thing with the superconduct transfig, except this one has a different effect, and you need hydro and pyro, obviously. After you trigger a vaporized reaction for the hydro version, so you need to pay hydro dice for it. You will heal your lowest HP character for 1 HP and deal +1 damage. Very underwhelming. Probably the worst.
It's kind of really, I do really feel like it's really situational and very niche, because like, why would you even want to plus damage from the character with the lower HP?
Yes, exactly. Your low HP characters, there's value in them being low HP some of the time. And that you want your enemy to hit your low HP characters and not get that much value from it by overkilling them with their hits.
And even if your lowest HP character actually trying to do something, well, they're gonna get sniped ASAP as soon as they expose themselves. So healing your lowest HP for 1, just the +1 damage to them, sounds not adding up like at all.
There is an instance where this is good, and that's when you only have one character left, where every hit point or HP might matter in terms of getting out of a breakpoint of the enemy character or of the enemy. Which at those instances, and the fact that it's a stackable heal, that isn't just an event card that you have to pay for or a food, it's very good. But those are very niche and won't come up all that often, and even when it does, you're much better off with this very good effect. This is ridiculous, by the way. I cannot believe this is a real effect that they've added into the game. This is a very good effect, in my opinion at least.
So can you just explain what it's gonna do? So
Okay.
We can definitely read it, but obviously we are here to yap something.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's when your pyro character uses an elemental skill, they spend 1 fewer elemental die. Now, that might not seem like a lot if you just read it at face value, but something you need to keep in mind in GITCG is that dice economy is king. If you have dice gen, if you have dice fixing, if you have ways to do more in compared to your enemies, and if you could access it this consistently with the elemental transfiguration, it leaves you with a very good effect. And this is very good because it tunes the dice that it generates into the elemental dice cost, so you don't even there's already value from that. And 2, you get the tune. You also get the free rolls as well, which is pretty good. But again, the detriment is you're also kind of forced to roll 2 dice that you don't want with the hydro on the types of decks that you'd like to run this with. But that's okay.
In terms of long term, this seems like a really strong card too, because every round you effectively getting +2 every single round.
Yes. And again, we've already mentioned it earlier, but this card is a support card, which means it gets the benefit of being discounted by
and can also discount by seat box. Oh my god.
Yeah, it can get discounted by seat box. It's never in your original deck It's never in the
Yeah, because
original.
the card you're playing is vaporized thingy, rather than the original one that you are trying to play that got this card itself.
It's a different name. This is called the Vaporized Blessing, and this is called the Searing
Searing
Burn.
Burn.
It's Blessing Searing
Sounds
Burn.
really firing.
So it also gets discounted by Sleepy Meditation. Which is all very good things. All very, very good things that contribute to the consistency and the value of this card.
Yeah,
I've
what is it?
I'm just saying that, like, you know, it feels funny that they make an entire new tag and then makes it so that, and then like forget to like make every other thing like targeted. Like, you have to be serious, right? We did like mention earlier that it's gonna like it basically dodges the new passing of judgment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of the new Passing of Judgment, now that we've finished talking about these transfigs and how broken they are very broken, guys. Keep it in mind. Watch out for the new transfigs. They're very good. But moving on, let's talk about the balance changes. Starting with Judgment. Do I have Judgment?
Wait, hold on.
Here's
Judgment is like a whole rework already.
Yeah, it's got a
Rework. Total rework.
It's basically now a new identity, and you would play it differently. I mean, your main goal is to it's still the same. You're stopping your opponent from spamming a lot of event cards, but let's just get dive into it a bit.
Okay. Okay. The effects itself isn't all that amazing. So previous Passing of Judgment, it had an dice cost. It costed one.
Yep. It cost one
dice, and also the arcane dice. And then its effect was just all the cards in the opponent's hand during the round you played it at becomes the event cards, right?
Yeah.
Did it only target event cards?
Back then,
It can only hit event cards. Yeah.
Back then, it's like
Okay.
block the next 3 event cards played in this round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
it produces a status on the opponent's side of the field that prevents them from playing the 3 event cards or the next 3 event cards, which is a fine effect. It did its job for the most part, but then they changed it to then it also produces a status, but it's a one-time status where if they play any event card, so that event card will go through. The first event card will go through, but after that it will invalidate all the event cards in the opponent's hand.
Forever.
Now, forever.
Yeah, for the rest of the game until they, tune them, use them, whatever. They're just basically gone.
However, this is a problem because the previous Judgment floodgates the enemy from having to pay the 3 event card tax to even play an event card. This, however, it lets one event card through at the beginning, but then prevents all other event cards from being played. This is a problem in that there's a workaround in this, and that you just play one event card, and that you're fine. You won't suffer any of the repercussions.
Yeah,
and assuming you don't want or get rid of the other event cards, then it's practically a nil effect. It doesn't do anything against you.
Yeah, but that's assuming either you have very few cards in your hand or you have a very bad hand.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, though. The cards that Judgment previously floodgated, the way that people played Judgment against those decks, they played it mostly at round 1. And there's one specific deck that I'm thinking about here, and I think Kerching already knows about it too. And he's already against it. So actually, can you talk about it, Kerching? How does Judgment affect Skirk Chaska now that it got reworked?
So I went through. I have also played like a few matches playing as Skirk Chaska recently. I do feel like, so first of all, this is a really new effect. So it's basically gonna try to negate as many event cards from your hand as possible. Especially Skirk Chaska has a lot of event cards. You have a lot of card draws. And also you have, most importantly, your bullets and your void rift. So
And the thing about
Basically speaking, they could stop you from using your bullets by discarding them using the rift. But I kind of feel like this change it doesn't really do much. Yes, it does stop you opponent. Also one thing about judgment is that it also has a secondary effect, and it is continuous until the end of a round that we haven't really explored yet.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it also has this after the opponent discards from their hand. Okay, prior to the patch dropping, we weren't aware of this specific condition of the card due to a lack of the good translation of the decks. Or just information. We just didn't have the information.
We didn't
So
have it.
we presumed that this is any discard effect from the opponent, which includes discard from the deck. And
And we actually do have such kind of effect
yeah,
from
we have
two
a way
different
to force
characters.
that many.
And even crazier is that one also affects your opponent.
Yeah. So, and fortunately, very fortunately, actually, I would say, this didn't end up going through, and then it specified discard from their hand.
Yeah. So what exactly the penalty of this is that you're discarding, so you minus one hand for the discard, and then they just basically hand rip your hand for two more cards. And it's not going anywhere, but it's going to the bottom deck. So you pretty much never gonna see it again. And yeah, so I can see that this is an attempt of hitting, basically trying to hit the Skirchaska discard mechanics, because yeah, as we all know, Skirchaska can still play their very first Void Rift after getting hit by Judgment, but then because of the discard effect, you basically have to go -2 from Judgment. So yeah, that's how they are trying to hit Judgment, but in my opinion, however, Skirchaska will just basically gonna skip the turn anyway against either old or new Judgment. They just basically, yeah, it's not worth to take the thing, and now with the new Judgment, it's basically like, oh yeah, I dare you to do that, and then sure, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna behave and I'll pass. Sure.
Oh yeah. I think, but overall though, this judgment, in terms of inhibiting enemy actions, is okay. It's technically slightly better because A, it's free, and
Yeah.
B, the effect is longer lasting and has more serious implications for the opponent in terms of playing around it. Because old judgment, if you've got enough cards, you could just pay the taxes to force your way through. But for this judgment, you can't brute force it. You do need to consider the risk, or not consider the risk. You need to play more, what's it called, thoughtfully in terms of which event card you'll end up letting pass through, and then which event cards you don't want to like get break by the invalidation.
Yeah. So I just have a thought about how this actually a bit different compared to the old passing of judgment. Usually the old passing of judgment tends to try their best to hit one or two of your specific event cards rather than just letting them slide in. So basically, for example, we had the Super Time, the Whale Freeze era with I think it's Kerching, Layla, and Whale maybe. Usually, at the end of the game, they're usually two whales fighting each other, and whoever faces the opponent will probably just win. And then during this time, having Judgment to stop your opponent's Tada is just basically a game-winning move, and your opponent just cannot do anything. But if we had this new Judgment back in the day, they would just let the Tada slip through, and then, well, you know the rest.
Yeah. Okay. Enough about judgment. Functionally, it still fulfills the same role as the old judgment in my eyes. So I don't really have any other thoughts about it.
Yeah, actually, one more thing. So like basically, in conclusion, the new judgment doesn't are you saying that the new judgment doesn't really change much aside from the fact that it specifically targets Skorchaska because the new effect still lets you play play one card, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, in my conclusion, that they are trying their best to target specifically Skorchaska, those that relies a lot of different event cards in one specific round, and they cannot do anything otherwise. And
also,
I do think that this is kind of extra because usually Skorchaska we just lose to old judgment anyway.
yeah. Also, it specifically targets high hand size cards in the first place because high hand size cards are the ones that usually hold a lot of event cards. So I don't know. It seems the same to me.
Yeah. I mean, like in some cases, large hands I can actually go through the old judgment. Which
but
this one is never gonna be a case.
Yeah. Also, the extra effect, the discard from their hand, is just a massive. I guess. The only deck that runs discard from hand effects is like a pep now.
I mean, like a pep doesn't really need it anyway because we already have lore to discard from deck. Why bother discarding from your hand when you can just go for, I don't know, your favorite slot machine?
Yeah, and also Succeed discards during the start of the action phase. So it doesn't have any timing that Judgment cares about or can affect.
Right, I think that's pretty much enough everything for the Judgment. We could also maybe talk about a bit from about the new characters.
Oh yeah, it's true. Alright, I've set them all up here. We got all of them. Who do you want to talk about first, because I know I want to talk about.
I do think that everyone here is interested in Nefa, despite being okay. If you're still thinking Nefa is good, I'm sorry to shatter your dream. No, Nefa is so bad.
Yes.
And the fact that they have to make up her terribleness is that they give her a 4 damage value skill, which does nothing whatsoever.
This is so bad.
No, I mean like back when I first see like Nefa, like I was like, yeah, I mean like Nefa's kit is like objectively saying, it feels really bad. Like
It's
just like both of them just like summons Bridget, which doesn't really like do much aside from activating the reaction. And then other than that, like one of them just like adds shield, the other one is like for damage. Like it's like as if like they loaded everything into like her passive, which by the way, it's pretty funny. But yeah.
Okay, I just made a connection. Wait, guys! I made a connection in my head. I know why Nefa looks so shit.
Why?
Okay.
Wait, what?
Electro patch characters like get more value comparatively to like Dendro characters because Dendro reactions are better on quote unquote than regular patch reactions. Because patch reactions only do +2 value per reaction. Like if you do a vape, it's only +2 extra damage. If you do like I guess Superconduct and Electrocharge.
If you do Superconduct, you basically have +1 damage, but the damage is spread evenly, so sometimes it's actually that fair. But obviously, a lot of good Superconduct decks can do that consistently and effectively make all 3 of your characters at low HP and then finish it off with one singular AoE skill.
Yeah, but all Dendro skills or all Dendro reactions are +3 value on paper. We got Quicken, which has +1 initial damage, and then it gives you 2 catalyzing fields, which is +1
another +1 with 2 usages. When we added that up, that's gonna be 3 damage.
Yeah, and then for Bloom, it's +1 initial, and then the next time you do a Pyro or Electro.
Dendro. In the side game, we call them either Virgin or Quicken. I mean, wait, no Quicken. Is it?
Hyper Blue.
I don't know. I don't know how to. Is it Hyper Bloom? Yeah, it is Hyper Bloom. Anyway, so basically, it will cause that either Pyro or Electro instance going to +2 and consume the Bloom core.
So yeah, that's +3 as well. And then there's Burning, which deals +1 initial and then makes a burning field, which deals 1 damage, but also it reapplies Pyro. So
Effectively, that is also 3 value because we already tell that each elemental application is effectively 1.
Yeah, so it's also 3 value. So all 3 Dendro reactions are +3. Hence why their kits in general have less damage compared to like their patch counterparts. And if you look at Enefa's kit, this is 2 shield or 2 HP or effective hit points, and then a summon that deals 2 damage and
electro damage. But,
and if you look at Yao Yao, she summons Yoigwei that deals 2 damage and 2 application and has 2 effective HP. So she's effectively a Dendro character, or she has the baseline effects of a freaking Dendro character. Same thing with the burst. It summons a Brigida with like 2 extra hits and then deals 4 damage and has like 3 app. And it's the same thing with the burst here, but this like does more hits and does more app.
Also, do remind that Yao Yao's burst is actually a cost 4 because of the high value of it's actually providing.
So if you think
what is going on with all of this?
Yeah, if you think about it, they designed her kit like she's a Dendro character.
I mean,
Like they really genuinely thought that Lunar Charge was such a good reaction that they had to design her kit as if she was a Dendro character.
no, actually,
That is hilarious to me.
actually,
That is amazing.
actually, if you think about it for a second, right? It's literally the same inside game. Like just imagine this. Back when Dendro first released, it was the overkill reaction, like no show. Like back then, it was like said like the best free-to-play reaction ever, and like there was like an entire like Dendro craze, and now Lunar Lunar reactions they are pretty much shilled, I guess. And so what happens is that they are now basically also the best, even though not necessary for free to play. And so what happens is that I think that's what they took inspiration from the fact that like both Dendro reactions and Lunar reactions are both overkill, and like so like if Dendro got like a backloaded like damage bonus, then Lunar reaction should have a backloaded bonus too.
Yeah. Okay, but the thing is, Lunar Charge doesn't have that. It just doesn't have that. It doesn't have anything that Dendro reactions have. It's just a worse version of a pre-existing reaction. It's so bad. Kerching. Okay, let me.
Yeah. Okay. So first we could take this slowly, and then we're just probably gonna explain what is going on with Lunar Charge. So as soon as Inefa entered the game, for the rest of the game, your Electro Charge will become a Lunar Charge reaction.
Even if she dies. Even
when she's gone.
Which, in my opinion, if she dies, turn it back to Electro Charge, dude. We don't need the freaking Lunar Charge anymore. Turn it back. Bring it back, dude. We don't need it anymore.
Well, in my perspective, I do want to have an option that, please allow me to enable Electro Charge. Like, please give me an option to choose that. I don't want to do a Lunar reactions forcefully.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so
does.
Yeah, so what does Lunar Charge do?
Well, it deals. Well, there's no initial damage increase for one. If you trigger Lunar Charge, whatever damage you hit the enemy with, that's the damage you're getting. There's no extra +1 or anything. That's for one.
And for two, as soon as it triggers that reaction, it will summon a Thundercloud, who will do 2 electro damage. And if you think about it, you will say, hey, that's gonna be a 3-value summon.
No, it's
Isn't
not.
that good? No,
No,
it's not.
Because it's, again, you're stuck doing Lunar Charge, so there's no initial damage increase. So you're just stuck creating this shitter fucking summon over and over and over and over and over and over again. And what do you get for it? You get Electric Shock. You get this effect where if it's applied to a random card in your opponent's hand, it will, if at end phase, here's the other thing. The condition, the timing at which all the effects occur is at end phase. And it's here's another hiccup of the freaking kit here. When you apply Lunar Charge during end phase, like let's say it triggers through a summon and then it applies
for example, the Thunder Cloud hits a Hydro affected character, it will trigger yet another Lunar Charge, aka +1 usage. It will then apply the Electric
if it
Shock.
applies in that round, it won't trigger the one piercing at end phase on the opponent character. So you're not getting it. You're not getting the
basically it's mistiming, right? Because by the time before the summon fires, the electro shock timing was supposed to be triggered already, and only then that you trigger another reaction.
Yeah. So you missed that initial damage.
Basically a massive mistiming, and you're delaying your damage over and over.
Also, here's another thing for the Lunar Charge. If your enemy plays that card that got affected with Lunar or Electroshocks, you just lose it. It's gone. You don't get the damage anymore. So
there's nothing to stop your opponent from playing the card.
Outside of other taxes that I guess the deck does bring other taxes, but there's still workaround with that. Also another thing, if your opponent runs low hand size decks or decks that doesn't need cards in their hand, they could just have 0 cards in their hand at the end phase and it won't do anything. The reaction won't do anything. It cannot apply on anything on the opponent's side of the field, and you just get nothing. It's amazing.
Such a terrible.
And it's in the chat. Kiran says,
also, can we just take it into account that this summon can stack infinite usages, just so that you also have to wait infinite rounds to use them all?
yeah,
Because if you compare it with Nilo Bloom, right? She also does pretty much the same. You also do create a summon 2 damage.
Yeah, but Nilo Bloom's good.
Do extra damage upon reaction, by the way. And when Nilo Bloom's Bloom card actually hits 2+ usages, when you declare your end, it will just fire off 1 extra usage, just like the Yai summon.
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is just not the case for Lunar Charge. You just stack your usage infinitely, and you just have to wait for infinite round for them to fire off every single one usage of them.
I think the bad part about this, right? The bad part about this is the reality that, well, how do I say this, right? The reality that you are I think when they designed it, they designed it to the expectation that players will hold a lot of cards in your hand, and so it will have basically +2 because you have to do 1 thunder cloud, and then just hope that your opponent hold onto the hand for as long as possible, and so the total backloaded the total potential backloaded damage is plus infinity, right? In theory, it has a maximum potential of plus infinite. The problem,
in theory, we only have 1,000 HP, so
the problem.
I guess we all here probably have seen some sort of funny images that, oh wait, I have a card that is I don't know, it's got +5 dice tax, and then it has a lot of electric shock. I can't play it because it's so high.
It is literally
validated, and I can't tune it.
It is actually in the thumbnail. It is actually in the thumbnail.
Yeah, if we actually think about it though, most of the cards that actually get hit like that are actually really conditioned to cards like a Covenant of Rock or I Haven't Lost Yet. Basically cards like that.
Alright. Well, okay, what else can we talk about in Alpha? We talked about
so can we just talk about why doesn't she do any initial damage?
I
So,
don't.
here's my deck list. I play a Mona, Inefa, and Furina, for example. I start with Mona skill, and then I quick swap to Inefa, and then I summon.
Uh,
Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. What's this? What is wrong with that? I quick swap just to summon and do nothing.
yeah.
I think Nefa you have to play her talent in order for Nefa to actually work.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
just doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Okay, where is her talent? Okay, her talent
Okay, you
is
know who else
kind of.
has the similar kit again? Who is also who also needs their talent, and their talent is actually effectively free. Yeah, it's Nilo. Nilo's
Yeah.
talent is effectively free, and it gives you. It makes your bloom coin even more valuable. And while this thing, oh yeah, you have to play me, so you get actual values from your Lily charge,
Uh,
and it costs one. But like, why?
uh, well,
Um.
I don't know. I don't know. I
If
don't know
you're
what they
gonna
were
sit
thinking
here
when they made
and
the.
talk about Inefa at the current state without any of her actual supports, we're just gonna take care
The
the
thing is,
whole
she's the
entire
support
day.
though. She's the support, and also TCG doesn't work like base game. The supports don't usually mesh well with their freaking carries. I am
Yeah.
skeptical that Columbina will work with Enefa when she does come out in the TCG. I am very
Well,
skeptical.
yeah. If we actually following the meta games, we all know that. Oh wait, Skirk is not supposed to play with Escafir. Well,
Yeah,
probably they're trying to do that in this
yeah,
patch, but in previous round, Escafir just go follow. It's just gonna follow Linny, and then Skirk is just gonna follow Chaska, and they do their own stuff.
yeah.
I'm not sure if they are trying to bring that kind of synergy into the TCG. I kind of don't hope that it's like so. No, actually, now that I think about it, right? If in the side game, right? If in the base game, it would be very terrible for them to do so to like make like this kind of synergy because obviously like as far as everyone knows, all the current characters that can trigger like lunar reactions are all 5-star characters, so you have to pay a lot for that. So it's really bad in the base game. But like if you come to TCG and then you do the same thing, people would actually like it. But obviously
Yeah,
not now because we only have like exactly one not cry character, which is in Never, which is pretty funny, right? Like if they release like 2 characters at the same time, then maybe we would see the potential. But this feels like one of those situations where like it feels like Varka. Like people are like everyone is saying around the streets that I hope that Varka has like a dedicated support one day. This time it's the same with Inefa. Inefa standalone Inefa doesn't do much aside from being like haha meme damage kind of thing.
Yeah.
Meme damage from card kind of thing.
All right.
Oh yeah. Also, one thing about funny about our game is that we pretty much don't care about your character rarity, right? Whether it's 5-star, 3-star, 4-star, they are
That's good.
all pretty much well, they're not pretty much designed, they're balanced the same, but like as we all know that there are a lot of 4-star characters in the base game that are really bad or people just don't play at all, but in here everything just scatter around. And you can clearly see that, for example, senior here, yeah, exactly. Thanks,
My
Coffin.
goat.
You know what I mean.
My goat.
Um, and then, senior is an extremely good character in terms of dealing damage as a Bistik. You just equip a weapon to her, and then you just smash your opponent. And then who else? We have Cookie, who also has really high value and extremely good support. She just basically enables a whole mid-range strategy by her own self,
Yeah.
having a lot of damage and good sustain. Who else? We could talk about Yunjin. Oh wait, yeah,
My
Sayu's here.
goat.
One of the best carry, one of the best actual beholder of Wolf Gravestone.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
her a Wolf Gravestone and she's just gonna roll the entire planet. And then we have Yunjin, who is supposed to be a no attack support. No, just give her primary J Wing Spear. She's just gonna kill you.
Yeah. As you can
She
prepare
just
skill.
does 5 damage and probably 7 with her talent. Like 7
It's
damage for every single normal attack.
it's
It's just
6.
insane.
It's 6
Oh,
with
it's actually 6?
yeah. because
Okay,
like
never mind. I was just hoping.
my card already gives you +1 damage.
No, but
Yeah. Okay.
what this means is this proves is that unlike in the base game, here like
Mm.
rarity doesn't matter. There is no rarity. Like you have all the characters being the same, and then all the monsters playing alongside characters. So, like the rarity has never been an issue. It will never be an issue. And because of that, what I think is gonna happen, and I think a lot of people believe this too, is that eventually when new Not Cry characters come out, when new Lunar characters come out, they are going to eventually work well with one another under like maybe a strict requirement. So like, oh, you have to have like two Not Cry characters, you have to have two Lunar characters, you have to have like three Lunar characters, that kind of thing. But like unlike in the base
Yeah.
game where people would really really hate this because of like how all of them are 5-star and you have to pay for all of them, here you can just get them for like the low price of free, and it creates a new archetype. I feel like what is happening now is that the developers at MiHoYo, they have been like coming out with these archetypes that started with keywords, but I think that they are trying that they will put. I feel like they are eventually going to like try to make like a not cry, like synergy kind of thing, just so that like it like you would call not cry a valid archetype.
Yeah. I honestly though I'm already predicting there would be another version of Wolfia using Columbina to enable, I don't know, Luna crystallize. I'm not sure
Uh,
about that though, but we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. But it is my prediction that Columbina will make Navia great again, probably with
no,
catching
Navia's
in.
already good. If you ask,
I mean, true,
no,
Navia is still really
individually,
good, but yeah, what if you can make the good become better?
I don't,
You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
see it. Unless Colombia
Okay,
is
never
good
mind,
quality.
bro. We're just gonna have to see wait, and time will answer.
Yep,
Yeah.
eventually
Okay.
we'll see.
Let's talk about this guy. Speaking of four
Mika.
stars, um, I don't like him. I'll say it. I don't like him. I think he's weird. I think he's weird. What do you mean it's too unaligned? Okay, here's my thing. Here's my theory with Mika. Cool. He technically has a one-cost skill, and that it refunds two unaligned by producing a status. Oh, yeah, it produces a status that refunds you 2 dice. That's cool. Here's my thing. Sure, he could be a good ramp character, but the thing that he's ramping is already a dice that's already being paid for. Because the way normal attack spam characters work is the dice that they're usually discounting is unaligned dice already. And because of that, the way that he ramps the okay, how do I talk about this? Okay, I get
I think you could take an example. For example, we have non-smoke chicken who is also discounting unaligned dice, for example. That's just
it.
gonna like overlap each other and they're just basically not working together.
Yeah, it will give you like one actual discounted cost. Okay, the one I actually want to talk about is two specific characters. It's Yunjin and it's Chlorind. Both Chlorind and Yunjin discount their normal attack by one
Mm-hmm.
dice once they enter the state or produce
Yep.
the team status.
Yeah.
And because it works like that, the discount from Mika's skill ends up being effectively only actually one. Or like it's effectively only producing half the stated effect. And that's very
Yeah.
bad in terms of generating value from a character.
Yeah.
Also, it
So
gets nerfed to 2 damage because of the effect.
so you're telling me that the fact that we have a really mid effect that is balanced by a mid damage.
Is bad? Who would have thought? Who would have thought this would be bad? It's like
Yo,
it low-key pisses me off. Also, his burst. This is the worst burst I've ever seen in a character ever. It does no damage. It does heal, and then it produces two statuses that does the same thing. I guess it no. It
oi, oi, oi. Is that the same thing? Actually, yeah.
no, it's in the discounts aligned. It's fine.
Yeah. That discount element of dice. I mean, yeah, much better. It effectively stacking the two will make your normal attack free.
Okay, but here's the other thing though. To get this, you need to do two actions on Mika. And if you're doing two actions on Mika, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we spending dice on this shitter fucking character who does
Okay,
nothing?
so like honestly, I do think the healing part is niche, but like what like if we're planning onto a normal attack spam, you would not really necessarily need that heal. So, for example, we have Rice Lee, who actually has a built-in also discount normal attack,
Yeah,
but
and
it also could act as a healing skill.
okay,
So
here's the thing
Rice
with the
Lee's
right
skill
now.
allows him to discount one of his normal attacks for when he's above 5 HP and will heal otherwise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Here's the thing with Risley
Also,
though. They're both cryo. So where's the reaction? What are we doing?
man,
What's the point? Uh,
I don't know, like it is funny. I feel like the whole point is that because like my time trying Mika out, the weird thing is that like, oh, you have to spam Mika in order to come back, but then like when you come back you're already out of dice, so like does it even matter, right?
it
Mika
it
is
does
pretty in the middle, I would say, yeah.
it,
I mean, the fact
it
that
does
it took them pretty long to release this card is
okay.
not a very good impression.
You know,
His kit does have the blueprints. It has the blueprints of being good on paper in terms of providing value for a very specific type of character. Like if this character releases in the future, who likes normal attacking, who could discount their normal attacks, aligned dice, and who can react off of cryo, then yeah, maybe Mika will be good with that character. But they don't
Hmm.
exist yet. So he's just sort of put in this awkward position where he just does nothing. He just does nothing right now. And I feel bad for the guy.
Okay. So I do wanna have to point this out. So we all know that Mika is from Mondstadt, right? And he's acting as a cryo character while also wielding a melee weapon that makes
Yeah.
him do physical damage for normal attack. So
Yeah.
why do I even think I'm bringing this up? That's because we have Albedo Ayaka.
Okay, Albedo also discounts unaligned though, so
Yeah. Yeah.
no, but
Wait,
then
is
but,
it?
but then there's a problem.
Yeah,
This
it actually discount and align, yeah.
yeah, so there's
yeah.
no point.
Yeah, that's well, but at the very least, right?
Also, another thing about Soulwind, it doesn't discount
Well, you
immediate
don't necessarily have
attack.
to use it though in Albedo Windmill.
Oh, wait, yeah. Wait, you can carry this over between rounds?
I think yeah, I think it doesn't really state that oh
So
you have to use them right away or what. I do
yeah,
think that you could carry that.
yeah,
Okay,
but
never mind.
I'm still thinking that
Or
it's
you
right.
could just spam his normal attack because he's also a melee character.
No, I mean like that could be something that like I mean that is something that I think about. But like overall, right? I feel like the problem with
Yeah.
Mika is that the ramp is kind of slow. The ramp is slow, and we don't really have like someone who's like very much like a champion in normal attacks. Maybe a Yaka, maybe a Beidou, I don't feel like we have a lot of that. And even like those who are considered like great at normal attacks, they aren't necessarily like super good either. So like
No,
I'm
they're good normal attack spam characters.
yeah, but
It's
like
just he doesn't have a position that puts him in a place where he could take advantage. Wait, no, I just figured it out. I know the sauce now. Forget everything I said. I'm wrong. I am completely wrong. There is a sauce.
oh my gosh,
Right?
what got
Okay,
It's
sauce?
can you just
Mika
present it to us right
Torres.
now? Right, okay, Verissa.
Real? Is this real sauce? Or am I going crazy?
Okay, so can you at least explain to everyone
Yeah.
how is this necessarily gonna be maybe saucy?
That's it.
Is it gonna be sauce or is it gonna be sus?
It's sus. I'm just
Okay,
bullshitting.
you're sus.
But if you have the time, go ahead, try Mika Vareza and tell me how it goes. Actually, do that and also run the superconduct transfiguration and then come back to me. See if it works. Could be fun.
You're cooking. By the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Help about in the chat says that like they want to see the Albedo Ayaka deck.
Oh, I don't have a version of it in my lists.
I mean, it should be simple.
Yeah, it is simple.
You should be packing a lot of normal attack discount, and I do think that most of the time you don't really have to care about Mika's skill.
I would have two versions of
Oh, you
Kerching.
have the Albedo, but that's the adventure one. It's not Albedo.
Yeah, that's not the real albedo list. Okay, so
Right.
albedo
Yeah.
lists, he has one thing he wants to do, and he wants to discount characters that have good plunge attacks.
Yep.
So you
And
want
they also have to do at least two plunge attack damage,
at
because
least two.
that's where the value is coming in.
And
You
that's
don't
where
necessarily need any catalyst character that is not doing a lot of damage.
you can use the goat,
Yep.
Ayaka,
You have
put the
Ayaka, who
reset.
also not only has a 3 damage plunge attack, but also has a crowd infusion as well.
Yep. And then the ones usually paired with it is like
Yeah,
Varus.
usually people would play with Varesa, right? Who is also technically a 2 damage normal attacker that can also yet again apply elemental reaction on their
It
normal
can
attack, being a catalyst character.
also because what's it called? Where is it? Is it
Yeah,
Apex
her
Drive?
mini burst, you'd say? Apex
Yeah,
Drive, isn't it?
and
Oh,
Volcano
yeah, it's Volcano Kapam.
is considered a
That's
plunging
her
attack,
mini burst, which is also considered as a plunging attack, who will get boosted by Albedo's talent.
which is do I have it?
His
Yes,
talent, yeah.
yeah, this one.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, you run Albedo talent, and then you run any woven effects or stuff
Yep.
that could give you dice or could
So
discount.
you could run yeah,
Here it is.
glad. Then you
Uh,
may want some card draw or normal attacks. For
yeah, run
example, yeah,
this.
that one.
You
And
might also want
then you just run I do think some people are trying to run Jinju Forest, do you think?
no,
No,
not you.
okay, never mind. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't need it.
You don't want
I
this.
ignore it.
Ignore it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have the Sumptuous Lair to draw
okay.
it consistently. Yeah, that's one. Vanessa, the Legend of Vanessa,
Oh,
maybe.
why are you ruining your dice? Why are you doing it? You can run this. You can run this. You can
Yeah.
run now if you want.
I'm not really a fan of J.U. Guba, but I
Yeah,
guess it works. I guess it works.
you want to do it for Mao, so you have 6 food.
Mm. Probably your last food, it's last two food, obviously, Mystic Soup.
Oh my god.
Mm.
And yeah, you
And
just do
then
something like this, and
yeah,
then you just
technically that's your baseline. You could probably just add Ball Princess and then maybe Liaison to reset your Gladiator.
yeah. You could also run this. You can run Heavy
Yeah,
Strike.
there's right for certain breakpoint. You can also combine it with Goba. I'm not a fan
Uh,
of Goba, however.
if you like gambling more than consistency, you can run Covenant instead of Stove.
Hmm.
But if no wait, if you run Stove, you need to run
You
another.
would have to play a Yakatalan.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to play Ayaka Talent, which is unfortunate, but Ayaka Talent's still kind of
I mean,
okay.
it's still pretty fine because you basically get plus one extra damage again from her normal attacks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Kiran says like there should be one heavy strike. Does that make sense?
yeah. We
Yeah. Heavy
talked
strike.
about
We were talking about that.
we
Not gonna
didn't
lie.
let's get put this guy here.
Yeah,
I
heavy
kind of
strike for
want,
hitting certain breakpoint.
yeah, I want to bring Gambler, so I have 6
Yeah,
arc.
gambler. And then you could also try and get, I don't know, you could add two Heart of Carbonara, maybe, possibly.
Uh, but not sure
Because you
about
could
that.
draw more cards, so you get
Sure about that.
more cards.
You
And
just
probably, oh wait, Chang the Nine.
Chang. Hell no.
Yay, Chang the Nine.
Why
You're
would I bring?
not?
I can bring my goat.
Yo, bro.
Yeah, and then I'll let him. Let him's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
Ellie.
sort of.
He's also pretty good.
Anyway.
Because if you have Illy, if one of your plungers get sniped, you could Illy burst on Albedo and do a bunch of damage.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
It's
but then,
Or
how
even a
does?
Yaka Burst.
Mhm. Actually, I have the question though. How does this play into Mika?
play into
Okay.
Mika.
Oh, right. So if we would add Mika, obviously you would have the two Wovens, and probably you're gonna have the Cryo.
You drop Storm Terrors for sure and all the talents.
Yeah. You're
But
still
I think
definitely gonna need a Widow talent though.
The most important, okay, if you do run Mika, I think this is what you do. You get rid of everything, all of these. You run Transfiguration. Where's Transfiguration?
What is bro
You run
cooking? Yeah, I
Transfiguration.
mean, yeah, you
You
should,
run
you could, you
Red.
could,
Wait, I need to
you
put Mika
could.
in here. Get
Yeah,
out
put
of
me
here,
through.
Albedo. You're
Oh, you don't even need Obeido. Ooh,
yeah.
who
Frick
cares?
Albedo. All my homies
I mean,
hate
we're
Albedo
talking.
Mika.
Yeah.
There you go. And then we can run Cryo-Res. And then we can run Covenant of Rock.
Remember to remove the Sumter's Lair because you have no talent.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then we run Woven. And I can put back the shifts. And yeah, if you want to run a Mika version, this could be fun as well.
I'm.
Uh, what's that?
I mean, no. I'm just saying that like we're probably going to like post these on the TCG Dex channel later because apparently was requested by the viewers. So I think yeah, maybe we'll put this on later. I'll like I have the thought. I'll just like take note of that and then like throw them onto the Dex channel.
Sure.
Honestly, though, I don't think this deck would do that well. However,
It's undercooked as hell, dude. This is just random things that we've thought of along the way. Maybe it could work. It's gonna need some testing. Okay, A, this Illy looks sus. This Illy looks sus. B, Mao also looks sus. I'm pretty sure you don't want to run Mao.
yeah, actually, you go by sus. You don't trust them anyway.
But
Anyway,
this is
But
very undercooked, needs a lot of testing for it to even work, if it even does work. But you know, if it's fun. It's fun and we're here to have fun. Also, since you're running Transfig, you could run the stuff that works with Transfig, like Sleepy, like Seed that we mentioned earlier. Those are also pretty good. But
yeah,
again,
it's not worth running seed for one.
this is
I
1
think
a.m.
yeah,
cooking
sleepy is fine.
for me, and I think 3 a.m. cooking for Kerching, so these are all very sus lists.
Yeah.
we can work
So
Try
with that out of the way, we could actually move on, I guess. So I do remember that we have 3 new characters instead of 2.
Yeah, we still
So
have
other than Mika and Inafa,
yeah, we still have
Uh,
that one Kukusaur boss.
If you guys want the sharing code, I, to Kibi, can you send it to chat? I pasted it in the Discord VC.
One sec.
There you go. If you guys want to try that deck, it's not good, but if you guys want to try it,
Let me just grab the code. Where
Yeah.
did you put it? Where did you put it? In the VC chat?
we have one more character card to talk about.
and that's the Kukusaurus Tyrant.
Yeah, my
Okay,
deck.
so I personally haven't really tested this dude out, but I do see that this dude just randomly fired off like some random pyro damage and some piercing damage apparently. So can you guys explain?
All right. So he is Goldflame Kukusaur. He's the big daddy of the other Kukusaurs. If you've ever seen the Kukusaur, if you've ever played Skirk
You always
Chaska,
have to.
I'm sure you're well aware of this little baby, the little tiny bird who makes or breaks your combo in Skirk Chaska a lot of the time. Anyway, this is their dad. They're very big. They do 2 physical. They're 11 HP because they're a monster character. And another balancing aspect that TCG devs do is that monster characters get more in their kit with quotation marks on the more in terms of value. Oh, hello hamster. I don't know.
Hi, hamster. Who's hamster? We don't know. Sorry, we have a show here. Sorry.
Sorry.
Check it. Yeah, we got Goldflame Kukusaur. Their skill is 1 pyro, and it creates 2 stacks of flying swirl. This is just shield. Just think of it
Yeah.
as shield. It
Yeah,
negates
this is
1
basically
damage.
Ganyu skill.
Yeah, but it only works on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. To himself, yeah. Attached to himself. Okay. How about his burst?
And his burst does 3 pyro, and then deals 1 piercing damage to all off-field characters and attaches another status to himself. Now, if you look at this at face value, this looks hella mid. 1 damage skill and then 3 damage burst. This guy sucks. But that's not where his kit ends. He also has this extra status, which is the Gold Flame State.
Mhm.
And the way it
And
works,
that should be a part of his talent, I believe. I mean, he's
Uh,
passive with talent.
Yeah, and it's passive.
It's his
Okay,
part
yeah.
basically.
So there's two ways to get the status. You either burst and then he attaches one of the status to himself, or you wait until the start of an even numbered action phase.
So like
So-
round 2, round 4,
Oh,
round
that
6.
is so specific. So, like, for
Yep.
example, round 2,
Yep.
Yeah,
Round
Yeah.
2, round 4, 6,
You'll-
8, 10, 12, 14.
yeah. So he gets
and
the
you end
status.
on 14.
Yeah. And when you end the freaking okay, I can't talk. When you end your round on this guy during end phase, you will deal 1 pyro damage to the active character and 2 piercing to the standby characters. And hypothetically, he can get this for free. You could literally just do nothing on the guy and then end on him at round 2, and then he just deals damage for free, which is pretty good. Hypothetically. Hypotheletically. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I do think that this has a pretty niche application with Silver and Malus, especially that nowadays, because of Toba, we actually get to see people playing Silver and Malus over and over in most of the
that's
time.
true.
So you basically just get free pyro damage to dish out, and then you just get 1 pyro stack for Silver. And then
Yeah.
they're just gonna draw. You just basically do action to damage with the other 2 elements, and then this guy's just gonna give you free pyro damage.
Yeah. And then he has a talent, and the main linchpin in what people cook with this guy is his talent. You could basically think of it. Okay, so the way it works is that it upgrades the status into a different form of a status.
Oh,
Where-
interesting.
Instead of just doing 1 pyro damage at end phase, it will deal the amount of damage dependent on the on a card that it will discard during end phase and its current elemental dice cost. So for example, you end on Flame Kukusaur, and at end phase he still does the status thingy where it deals damage, but instead of doing 1 pyro, it will look at the highest elemental dice cost card in your hand, discard it, and then do that as the pyro damage.
Yep. So
It
basically,
doesn't do the piercing damage. It still only does 1 piercing
Yeah, yeah.
damage.
So, but like here's
But it
the
will upgrade.
Wait, that is interesting. No?
here's the funny part because here's what that means. If you use this and then like it discards your countdown and then yeah, it does 3 damage. Now what happens is that if you have a card that get like a bunch of cost in 3 stacks, then those cost in 3 stacks backfires, right? Which is really funny to think about.
Never.
And then it has effects that taxes the enemy, ends up helping them instead. And buffs their damage.
Yeah, basically that.
Wait, actually, if you discard like attacks countdown, it still only makes the 2 cost after you discard.
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Because it's going to create a cheaper version, aka the countdown 2, and put it
Oh.
on your top deck. So yeah, even if you're discarding a 10 cost countdown 3, it will still always create a countdown 2, which is a 2 original cost.
Which is
That-
really
that's
funny.
good. Yeah. Because in a way, that's not how countdown works. If you think about it, like you think
Counting
countdown,
down from 10 to 2.
yeah, it should count down 1 by 1. But no.
People in
It's
the chat are saying that like ironically, this makes both an extreme useful but in the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And ironically, you are using extreme the different way.
And,
Oh, that's not it.
unironically, you just discard extreme and you win.
Yeah, it's essentially that.
Wait, it's actually true because when you discard extreme, it does more damage. Whoa.
So yeah, we've talked about a bit of balance changes. We've pretty much talked about all the new characters. How about some new other action cards? Because I
actually.
believe that we have some of them.
Yeah, most
Oh.
of the action cards outside of like elemental transmutation are just like if I remember correctly, there are like 7 new cards, and all of them have to do with the action statuses, which is the action card effect statuses right? Which is like the
Oh,
big
right.
mechanic. So like we have discussed earlier that.
Do I have?
Wait, one sec.
Oh, I got these guys. I
Yeah.
already bought one
Oh,
of these.
Silver Moon Hall. What is this?
Cost reduction or empowerment is attached to your card plus 1 stack.
And then when attached to your card.
Yeah, this is actually a new a special special thing that like I think we haven't discussed, that
Yeah.
the statuses stay on your card for as long as it is a card. So like if you play a support card with a status, the status remains on your support card, which is really funny in this case. So like,
Oh wait, this is just
Wait, yeah. I mean, this card seems, I think, yeah, at the start of the ushering phase. So it's basically like, if you think about it, it's like a
woven.
like a Saurian stage from the Netland, the one that you stack a bunch of stacks by playing card. Yeah, this one exactly. So yeah, the Silver Moon Hall seems pretty much like this card, except yeah, you have different ways to stack them up, and then you just basically gain +1 dice because of it. However, I do feel like this is a card that tends to go against Inefa, who attaches your cards by your opponent Inefa.
No, it's
And
only
again, it's kind of funny because like I'm not sure how what's the inspiration or the idea behind this card, because it seems like, oh wait, we're creating a counter to a very bad card.
Yeah, it's true.
And honestly, it's not really that good in terms of playing against Inefa, because you just basically get +1 dice, is it? You just effectively get +1 at most, and it's just basically sit there forever.
Kerching. It doesn't count any status you attach to card. It specifically has to be cost reduction or empowerment.
Oh, cost reduction specifically. Oh my days.
or empowerment. Yeah, those two are.
Inefa talent does have cost reduction, but anyway,
No,
it's just so mid.
It's different. It's a cost increase. It's a different status.
Oh, cost reduction, not cost increase. Okay, actually don't know how to read.
It does
anyway.
It does not counter enough at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't counter enough, and it doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever.
I mean,
no,
if you get the effects, you can get free dice.
The thing is like this card cannot be played alone.
As a reward of playing bad cards, including itself. Yeah, I'll take it, bro.
No. The thing about this one is that it is useful, but it is not useful alone. You never play this alone. If you play this alone, it is not going to make any sense. It's not going to increase the stack. You don't do this. So what you do instead is that you have to play it alongside the other new support cards. So like let's have a look at them.
You ain't magic, little. You ain't ever gonna be magic.
Like we have like 6 new cards, 6 other cards that also do like these kinds of things. So like let's go through them and see like which of these will play well with this. But like we all know that Silver Moon Hall cannot be played alone. So for example, Nasha Town. Well,
you're paying a dice. You're paying a dice for this back, dude. You're paying
for dice random
to get it back. What are we doing?
Okay, it empowers 2 random cards in your hand.
That's good.
With a current cost of 2. Okay, it doesn't really that random. It specifically fix your 2 cost dice, 2 cost card.
Yeah, which is
what I do think about fixing 2 cost specifically. Well, 2 cost, it's just basically equals to using a Bestus. You use a Bestus, you fix 2 dice, but that 2 dice fix would be useful for your skill, not playing cards.
Yeah, and also you usually get 2 matching anyway off of a mulligan, so.
Yeah, especially if you're veteran players, you would probably just plan ahead. Okay, so this round, do I want to do this, do that? If I want to play this card, I would do my dice roll like that, because I would just plan ahead.
Yeah.
And this is a really good habit for you to play GITCG. Okay, so yeah, with that out of that, so I do think that National Town has another effect, right?
Yeah, it deals 2 physical damage when this card is discarded. which is okay. You're paying 1 dice to deal 2 damage. Wow,
And
that's
then
so
fix your
cool.
2 card for like I do think fixing card doesn't really add up. I mean, yeah, you should use it with the Silver Moon Hall and effectively getting the dice back next round.
Okay, so
And do remember
you're
that this card only give you at the start of action phase.
you're populating your support zone with shitter support cards, and then doing nothing. You're dealing 2 physical damage.
I think that like,
Like, what are we talking?
I think the problem with empowerment, right? The problem with empowerment, it is just funny. It's too funny because apparently, like I think like the only place where it's gonna matter is like gonna be on 3 costs. Under 3 costs, it doesn't matter. Over 3 costs, the
Yeah.
card is so expensive anyway. No one's
exactly.
gonna play it.
Yeah, that's especially what we are talking about. Especially if you actually empower 5 cost card, useful 5 cost card like Ganyu Talon or Zhongli Talon, because
Wait,
I
it's
do know a fact that a lot of Zhongli players happens to roll poorly, so they can't really play the
Wait.
Talon first action at all, and that is really bad for them.
The Ino card is useful. You can use it to tune for Zhongli talent. I didn't even think of that.
Wait, hold on.
Mhm.
Someone asked about
I
if you
haven't think about
Sunyata
that
this.
way. I do think that every card is tunable.
Hey. Like we have a question from the chat. If you Sunyata this, does it do the 2 damage?
I'm glad they asked because I do think that this card specifically stated that if this card at 0 usage, so I'm pretty sure you just have to remove it by its own effect by
No,
using
it's
up 2 of its usages, because you cannot just tune Yada is away. You just cannot dump another support card on top of it to get the instant damage.
no, it says when this is discarded, Kerching. It doesn't say when usages
No,
are.
it does have another condition at the back.
Oh.
If this card has 0 usage, so yeah, it checks if it still have any usage left.
So
because
basically, it
if
has to discard
does,
by
it's just not
itself.
going to do anything.
So like it has to discard by itself then.
This
Yeah,
thing
it just has to
sucks.
discard by its own effect,
It sucks so
which is
bad.
kind of bad.
It's delayed damage that you're paying for nothing. For nothing.
Like
Why are you delaying?
like wait, hold on. 2 cards in, and I think what all we can agree on is that empowerment is weak. It's
it
rather
is.
weak if we look at like
Yeah.
the economy. Right. We still have like more cards though, so let's go to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah. This
And
guy.
that is where you're going. Kuhagi Experimental Design Brew.
Burrow.
A 2-cost location card. Okay, end phase attach empowerment to 2 random cards in your deck.
Yep,
Wait.
in the deck. As I've mentioned earlier, like it just like the like these effects can be thrown anywhere, and again, as long as it's still a card, it will just go with the card. So like only when the card is used, like then the effect disappears. Otherwise, it stays on the card. Right.
Is it top of the deck or is it random?
Random anywhere on the deck.
I think it's just totally random because they just say random, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could just attach
Yeah,
to
it's
any
just-
card
Yeah, it's just
from
thrown
your deck,
on.
and it could effectively hit a 0-cost card as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
This thing sucks.
This
I mean, you can still tune the 0 cost and then make a nominee.
Okay, what else does it have? Okay, when this card discarded while on the field, I do think Sunyata actually works on this because it doesn't really have like reaches 0 usage like the Nasha Town.
add attachments.
Discarded while on the field.
Use
That's one
Yeah,
step.
draw 2 card with empowerment. So you're tutoring the 2 random cards. So you're not. So you're technically still a random draw 2. Sure.
and your
Okay,
next
and
and your active character's next skill, which is like any attack from the character.
Attach battle plan. Battle plan is just basically one of the generic status that Hoyo is trying to apply
Wait,
to
get
pretty
the
much every effect. It's just basically a discount 1 for your next skill.
Wait, so this guy's 1 dice cost card draw. Wait.
Wait, yeah, it actually, because it attached empowerment to 2 cards, right? And then you just draw 2. Oh wait, but you're gonna attach up to 4 cards in your deck, and you
Yes.
Who
just
cares?
draw
We
2.
don't care. We don't care. I don't want to wait an extra round to get. The
I think
freaking
no.
impact.
Here's what I think. Here's like what I think. This card is like useful in late game, as or like in like draw heavy decks. So like if you draw way too many decks, like at some point at the end of the game, you can use this, and then it basically guarantees whatever you bottom decks to be empowered, right? And then like you can like survive with them easier.
You don't care about that. You just want to draw the card now. Draw is good when it's good, dude. Draw is good.
Okay, Coffin, calm down, because the thing is that it only draws cards with empowerment. If none of your cards from your deck has empowerment, it draws nothing. And it only attached empowerment by the end phase. You have to play it, wait for next round, and then discard it.
Oh god,
Yep.
never mind. This thing sucks.
Yeah. Helper says that like the effect has to be instant.
A very delayed strategize, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you pay 2
Yeah,
costs,
yeah.
you get the draw 2 effect from strategize, and then you get the 1 dice back from the discount.
Hold on,
Very
hold on.
funny.
Wait, Helperbot says, I think it just needs to be instant and be like bestest, even if cards empowered are worse than skills anyway. I'm not quite sure what the like bestest means.
Best is just tuning your dice now.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, we have one more support card.
I think we have like 2 more
location.
locations. 2 more locations. Is that
Oh,
what
yeah.
you see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Coffin has it, so it's not gonna appear in the store. Alright, so Taisu Stone. I'm sure that pretty much a lot of people already face this card. What does it
Yeah,
do?
it's
Oh,
free.
gosh.
It's the freest thing. Okay.
It's like,
Okay, it'll attach a cost increase and untunable to 1 random card in the opponent's hand. So effectively, it's just
In the
-1 dice in the opponent's side of the field.
Yeah.
Mm.
No. What
and
is
then it
it?
has just 2 usages.
I
Yeah.
think it's basically Inefa. Like this is Inefa without Inefa.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's special. It's 0 cost. It doesn't. There's no requirement. You just play it and phase -1 dice on the enemy. You don't even
Yeah.
need to play both or let both usages play out. Like even just -1ing on the opponent is like okay, whatever.
Yeah, and what's
like-
best is that you can actually play 2.
Yeah. I forgot about
So
that.
yeah, I do think that a lot of people think like, oh yeah, I kind of hate this card, but yeah.
Okay, actually, one question.
Okay.
Do you think untunable actually, breaks your hand as bad as people would think?
So essentially, I do think that untunable doesn't really matter, because if you're gonna play the card, then oh well, what's the problem with that? I'm happy to pay taxes. I'm a
Also-
grown-up man.
If you're a smart player and you see this card get played, it only procs the next round, so you just tune any card that you don't want it to hit anyway.
Mm,
No, but
exactly. Or you just have an empty hand.
Yeah.
But like,
And
what do you
then-
think? But like, what do you think of untunable as a whole, right? Like, if you have an untunable card in your
so-
hand, does it really matter?
So here's the thing. We already have a untunable sort of card way before that all of the attachment stuff came around, right? So we have Mausoleum, who will makes you draw into Forbidden Knowledge. They are also untunable cards. But the problem is that, yeah, they are untunable, but the thing that makes them annoying is that you can only play once per round, not the untunable itself. So I do think that untunable is not much of a big deal if you're just gonna play it or even discard it.
Yeah. Also, untunable as an effect, there's too many workarounds. You could still discard the card that has this attachment to it. You could still legacy it back. You could also just play the card itself if you feel like it's worth the cost increase. There's just too many workarounds for this effect to actually be meaningfully detrimental to the opponent or to a player. Like if the player is smart enough or look forward enough in their game plan where they know what they don't want to become untunable and what they would like to be played. Like there's just too much workaround against this effect for it to be actively detrimental to anything. I feel like.
So yeah, in my conclusion is that consumable doesn't really actually like hurt your whole hand side. It just basically, oh well, it just sit there as an effect. Yeah, you can't tune it, sure, you could, but you can definitely always play it if you are thinking about it, or you could just discard it. So, because it's just attached on an actual card rather than Forbidden Knowledge. Forbidden Knowledge has a once per round restriction, which is really devastating. And that's because they are pretty much actual deck card. You don't intentionally add them to your deck. And yeah, it's just basically a card that your opponent punish you for drawing a lot, and they're just gonna put up a lot. And the unturnable on them is it's good just because they cannot be get rid of that easily. But unturnable on your own card, they are still actual card that you can play and fits your plan.
Alright, let's look at, get that out of the way, let's just look at the final location card that's new to this version.
Yeah, and I believe it's interesting.
It's a 4
It's
cost.
not essentially that good, but it's interesting. Okay.
It's a 4 cost, except it basically pays for itself. So what it does, I think like this one, is like a pure ramp. Like let's go to the, yeah, this one feels like pure ramp, I'd say.
It is. I tried it out. I have tried it out extensively. I tried it out in Station SC. I've tried it out in other mid-range decks that they actually want to ramp their dice. And I am going to say, as a ramp option,
Nah.
it's not that good. I'm sorry, guys. It's not that good. Most of the time, the cards that it's discounting are not that, like, they're cards that you're already putting into your dice budget in terms of things you're actually gonna pay for. Like, when I want to play a, what do you call it? I forgot what it's called. Well, a Mystic
Are
Soup.
you trying to refer? I could probably remind you.
Okay, yeah. When I want to play a Mystic Soup, I've already budgeted it into my round dice allocation. Like, okay, I want to play Mystic Soup, so I need to do this line specifically so that I can accommodate for the extra dice. When the Frostmoon Enclave like hits these 1 costs or like 2 cost freaking cards, these are cards you've already accounted for in your freaking rotations and stuff. And when they get discounted, it doesn't actually affect your game plan all that much. Like, the best, here's my thing, the best use case of this card and the discount is when it hits a skill talent. Like, when it hits one of the skill talents, like, okay, let's just say, for example, let's say, I forgot her name, Escoffier's initial cost for the skill was actually 3. If it discounts to 2, that enables a line where you could do 3 actions. And that's the best case. That's the best case for it to hit, and for it to actually be useful. Otherwise, it hitting any cards kind of just pointless. Like, you don't feel the discount.
So here's what I think, right? Because you also mentioned about using discounted talents from this card, but like the thing is that you're getting free dice. I mean discount for your talent, but like you have to keep the talent card until you get the discount, which is really unlikely to happen. Like because most of the time, as soon as you get the talent, you would immediately use it. A lot of them really have high value, and you always want to have them down immediately. For example, Navia talent, extremely good. The longer you delay, the worse it's gonna go. So, and one other problem is that as a ramp card is that it heals your character. So, for example, you just go first, you ramp your 4 dice, and that
don't get
heal
a 2
is
HP.
just gonna waste.
Yeah.
It's not essentially that good. Yeah, sure, you go in second, then you might gonna have a good use of it, but most of the time, if you use it as a ramp card, you're basically giving up the 2 HP. I mean, the 2 HP is also not that much, but still, right? Because we are trying to get use of every single one that the card can provide, because if you don't need it, why would they even put it in?
Yeah. If it was draw 3, I think it'd be a little better. in my head, but it's not. Like, if it got rid of the 2 HP healing and it was just draw 3 and then everything else is the same, and it didn't have 2 HP heal, I think it would be better, but it's not.
Yeah.
So
In terms
it's
of
kind of a shame.
in terms of value, like if we calculate about the number only, then yeah, it is pretty. I'd say it's pretty. I don't want to say it. It's so bad though.
Yeah.
I say
I
it's
mean,
because
best,
like you get the 2 discount with 2 usages, effectively breaking even for 4 for 4, and then you get
yeah.
the draw 2 and the heal.
But that's not how it works, Kerching. The
Yeah, exactly.
dice is not even. The way dice works is not all dice is spent in the same way. Like there's
Yeah,
bad dice and there's
exactly.
good dice. And
Yeah,
this makes bad
mathematically, it
dice.
sounds on paper, it sounds really even, but in reality, it just scatter around, and you just have to, yeah, this is
Yeah.
not good.
It turns your bad die it turns your good dice, which is the dice that you could use for actions and other stuff, into bad dice. Which is, I don't know, depends on who you ask, maybe that bad dice is actually good. But in my head, most of the time it's just bad dice.
Yeah, Kiran said that like it like this feels like a card that you might want to play like in the early game, but then the heal is pointless.
Yeah.
But if you're
Okay.
playing it late, paying 4 dice is really a huge deal. We do see
Yeah,
that
and
a
it
lot
better
of
give you
players
some
just
big abs.
and we don't. Yeah, basically we don't meme about extreme without a reason because you're actively playing 4 cards just
Yeah.
to hopefully break your opponent's hand and steal all of their important cards.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
here's the other
the
thing.
worst thing applies to this card.
Here's the thing. The biggest comparison you could make with this card is another high cost draw card that acts as ramp, and that's Countdown.
Yeah.
And the reason why Countdown is good is that it's immediate, it's tuning. Yeah, there's just immediate effects, obviously, in that it tunes your dice, which is very good because it makes it so that your starting rounds when you draw this card is just very consistent because it allows you to play your lines without having to worry about dice quality.
Yeah, especially for example, characters that only cares about using skill once, and then you just basically roll any 3 aligned dice, and you just play countdown, and you still as if normal.
Yeah, that's one thing that makes Countdown good. 2, draw 4 is a lot of draw. It's a lot of draw, and in terms of shifting your momentum and advancing your game plan, it is very effective in doing that. Like I don't
And it also
know how.
immediately.
Yeah, it's immediate too. Like the speed at which it draws, or the timing at which it draws, and the amount that it draws is just a lot. It is a lot. Draw 4 is a very big amount of cards to have immediately in your hand at the start of a round, and it's very good. And compare that to, where is my thingy? Where's Enclave? Here,
Yeah, there
where
you
it
go.
draws 2, and then it has delayed, dice cost generation, if you could even count it as that.
And it is effectively delay all of the discount for up to 2 rounds, and on top of that, it is random, so you have no control whatsoever.
Oh yeah, dude, it could just hit a shitter freaking. It could hit itself. That's my other thing. If you draw 2 Frostmoon Enclaves and then the discount hits the other Enclave, you feel so freaking bad because you lost. You don't want to play the
That's
second.
interesting.
You don't want to play it. And
Unstopped.
there
That
are
is
other
interesting.
cards in your deck that it could hit that it would feel like that too, where you just feel like the discount went to nothing because you don't want it to go there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that would be so funny. Like,
It's so funny, though.
okay, actually, between this and the current Sing Your Heart Out,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
My
Sing
god.
your heart out.
It's so good. If you're a deck that likes food and run,
And you have the way to discount it, and Sing is
Yeah.
probably still worth running.
yeah, it's still pretty good.
But in your average deck without full support, you just probably just leave this out.
Yeah. All right. That's all.
What else
That's all we
do
got
we
for the
have?
support cards now.
we still have like 2 more
I think
cards.
we do have a bit of
Two event cards that also like
maybe?
play into like these new mechanics.
Oh,
by the way,
I think that we already talked about the Iron
Hey,
card.
wait, hold on. I just have like a quick like tip for you. You can just go to filter and then like click on show locked cards, and it would like no show locked cards, right? There's a toggle for
What
it
does
to
that
show.
mean?
Oh, up, go up. That's the show locked cards. Yeah, it will
what?
show the other cards within like the exact order. So like you will see like the cards that like.
Oh,
Wait, that's
what?
amazing.
Wait,
Like,
does that also include the cards that you haven't unlocked?
Yep.
Oh wait, yeah, exactly. Oh my god, what am I thinking?
this is awesome. Wait, we don't have to go to the shop anymore.
Yeah, you don't
Ah,
have to go to your shop. Yeah, up and down. There we go. We have the item card, and then we have the Kling Clang whatever.
The Clink
Like
Clank
Clank-
region.
Kling Clang Legion.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, I do believe that we already talked about the item card. Technically, it's just gonna generate one random what is it called, item card, and
Yeah.
then you just empower whatever the highest cost. So yeah, it sounds
It's good.
as simple as that. It's just one
This is
card
better than the
generate
other.
another random card.
Yeah, it's just
And
like
You have effect.
it gives you a
I do
card.
think that you could play this in, for example, Strongly's deck to keep your dice consistent. But other than that, I don't really feel like it's actually worth playing unless, yeah, you do have like you do play with some synergy with other support card that we have recently talked about. I don't think they're good though.
Here's my take though. Here's my take. I think that because this is generating a card, right? Here's my take. I
Yeah.
think it is good. Like anyway you look at it, if you really want to like optimize the cost for your card. So example, like if you get like Zhongli's card, like it's like you get like minor, like you get like empowerment, but you also get to like 2 1 die. I mean it's a little weird because then it doesn't really do much. But like you can think of this as like being able to tune 1 more die, because you might not use your item card at all. So basically like it like in some ways there's a better
I
way to like
see.
optimize like your dice, even though it's not really that much, and like at 0 cost. I think it's good, but I don't think it's like the best if you want to play 2 copies of it, because like playing 2 copies with like of a card that doesn't really do much, I don't think would be too ideal.
Yeah, so essentially it's pretty good for fixing high cost card that requires some specific dice. So for example, you're playing again Zhongli, and for some reason you may play Bolt, for example, because Bolt is actually costing a line
Nobody's
dice.
playing out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, let's just assume someone actually does.
No,
Wait,
actually,
But in terms of fixing, I would say if we are going to fixing your actual dice will actually help much, because again, you could choose to do actions with your characters.
I mean the thing with this one is like the problem with empowerment is that the dice fixing will not be applied to your top 2 cards, so it's gonna be applied to your 3rd highest cost card. So like if you have like a 5-3-3, then like one of the 3 will get empowerment, and then the other 3 you use the generated item card. I'm not quite sure, like I personally don't think that this is too great. It does optimize some of your dice, but I don't think it really optimizes it to a degree that is really powerful, to the point that like this card becomes a must-have.
Yeah, I do think that the most of the application here is just basically synergize with the cell attachment stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently we don't have that many actual good options, so I'm not sure. Probably in the future we might see more cards like Silver Moon Hall, which with better effects maybe, and that might come to a point that this card could be good and really worth playing.
Yeah.
We're
As
going
of for
down.
now, I do think that it's beside like 5 cost talents. I would rarely see this card to see good plays.
Yeah.
I mean, it does
Well-
fun to to generate cards.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially it's
Yeah.
free. But
And
it technically replaces itself with the card that you generate.
Yeah.
True.
And anyway, let's go to the final new card we have.
Yeah.
Think like Legion.
And yeah, the Klinglang Legion.
Creates 3 random cards with an original dice cost of 3 and add them to your hand.
Oh, a failed
Looks like-
copy of Serene. I mean, of Solo Lassie, I think.
This is just
you know.
this is just a Skirk fodder card. It makes
Yeah,
cards
Skirt
with good
better.
fodder to
But
Skirk.
here's the
But
thing, Skirt doesn't care about that because you already have Chaska to deal with.
yeah. Okay, but if you're not running a Skirk Chaska deck, then this could generate your Skirk fodder cards.
And maybe Whale. Who cares about Whale?
Yeah, who
Yeah,
cares about whale?
Wait,
maybe
hold on.
Whale. If this card would be released back in the day where Super Time doing stuff, I do probably think that it could
It'd be
be a
pretty
thing.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
no,
it could generate you extra countdowns and extra flying squads. That's cool.
yeah. But the
Yeah, so
point, but
basically what they say here, generating 3 random cards with cost of 3, they just only include the cards that you can add to your deck. They do
yeah,
not include stuff like Chaska Bullets, so yeah, don't try this.
yeah.
They're
Oh
not gonna include.
man,
Like
that would have been so
Yeah.
cool.
I
Well,
think
most
this.
of the time they will just give you random unusable 3 cost, yeah, either weapons or artifacts.
I think.
And decided that there are not really that many 3 cost cards. Yeah, sure, you have Senior Hideout, you have Countdown, you have Vanessa,
Mhm.
and what else? You have Lumenstone.
You can
I
totally
think
get
that's everything
a
there.
Wolf's Gravestone out of this.
What
Yeah,
the hell? Oh
yeah,
yeah, most of the 3 costs are weapons. Never
Yeah, but
mind.
most of the time you will just receiving 3 cost weapon because they are pretty much the majority of your bank.
yeah. I think this card is like an attempt to try to save Whale, right? Because like all the
There
very
is no
novel like got nerfed a lot, and I think this is something that we have to address. That you know, for after all of this, hold on, let me change the topic because I think this is really what we're talking about.
what? What happened?
Yeah.
Change the topic?
Yep,
Where is the topic?
yep, I did change the
Yeah.
topic.
We
So here's the thing.
basically have like a tiny topic on the top left of the screen.
No, bottom left, bottom left. But yeah,
Yeah,
here's the
the
deal.
bottom left.
Here's
Yeah,
here's
exactly.
the problem, right? All of this cost increase, cost decrease thing has led to the problem where I could sufficiently say that all the varying novel for all this has been done to death, thanks to this update.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Did
card
they even buff
So
it?
yeah.
they buff
Yeah,
they
for
buff
those
the
who
wealth.
didn't know that, Narwhal's burst and yeah, basically only Narwhal burst, right? It actually now counts the highest current elemental cost rather than the original one. So meaning that if you still running a 3 cost well, and then that very 3 cost card gets somehow taxed by either Tidestone or Inefa, that card just basically kill your Narwhal's burst.
Yeah. Okay. What are we doing?
No, what's even worse is that because of like all these cost increase, cost decrease being random, it means that like it's passive doesn't work because you need matching. It's basically we have this back then when WoW was still viable. We have this playstyle called mahjong, which is basically just like
Yeah.
playing the game where you just try to get like
Yeah.
three cards of
Like
like matching
basically,
cost.
you always have like three cards with the same cost. Yeah, so it's basically mahjong.
Yep. And now this whole thing
And
it messes up everything because like you have random cost increases and random cost decreases, and just because of all of that, you don't even know, right? Like maybe your hands have like all the costs from 0 through 9. That
Alright. Dude,
yeah, and
it's
then
fine.
top
Whale's
it,
dead.
yeah.
Whale's dead.
Well,
It's been
I
dragged
mean,
through.
I would say that well is already like dead, in really dead. Like as a lot
You know the
patches
end of the
ago,
freaking podcast,
being yeah,
right?
they just basically killed its burst and a lot of kind of stuff.
no,
Yeah.
but
You know the end of
And
the
now that
arc.
they even count the current elemental cards rather than keeping the original.
Got Kerching, do you know at the end of the Archon quest when Skirk showed up and then it freaking voided the whale and then yeeted it into the abyss? That's what happened. He grabbed the whale, he took Shaska away from him, and then she's like, "Okay, it's my support now. Get out of here!" Yeets it back into the abyss and then took over the meta. That's what happened. That's what happened. And now he's dead. He's dead. Let's not talk about a dead man any longer. We
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
move on.
No, because the whole
Yo,
point,
I
the whole
still
thing is
remember
like,
the day that people are still arguing about whale and crab are being growled on and karaoke of the game, and then
I
they're
brought
just all gone. They're just all
that's what
gone back to the
I
land
said.
they are at, where they belong to.
no, because
Kerching, I
here's the
said
thing.
that.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna say, right? The thing with the whale, like, is that, it's that for all intents and purposes, yes, the whale is dead. Except what's funny is that they are trying to save it. They even like buffed the whale back to 6 HP,
No.
but that did not do
Yeah,
anything.
that is like
Even
one
with
of
the
the
new update,
sneakiest.
up buffing like making its burst stronger, it does nothing because the whole point of playing whale is playing the passive, is playing mahjong, and then the mahjong doesn't work anymore. So like, why are you trying to save it anyway? And then like, just it's basically a zero sum update, right? It's a zero sum
Yeah.
update. You like, you buff the burst, but then the skill is basically killed even worse. Like if back then the chance is like 0.1%, it's now 0.00001%.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh, well, I hate beating a dead horse. And
and
that was already Will was already dead, and then they're like, all right, kill it
Yeah.
further.
yep.
Like we
Alright,
should
that's alright. I
And
mean,
like shoot it in the head
we
again.
took kind of like respect to one of the glorious moment, I'd say. Well,
True.
honestly though, nobody actually likes playing against well. It is so boring,
It is.
and yeah,
I
it
still
is so
remember.
boring. And during the well law era, it is so devastating and so depressing playing into them. They just basically do nothing other than smash
You
their
you just sit,
fingers.
I
you
think
sit through a cutscene, they tuned 60 fucking cards, and then they get a bunch of HP, and then they hit you. And you just sit there and you watch all this for hours at a time. And it's not fun, it's not interactive, it's not engaging, it's just bad game loops.
yep,
So
yeah.
it's fine that it's dead.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine that it's dead.
Yeah, no. But
And it's
like,
yeah,
I think like we kind of have to remind ourselves of exactly what happened when Whale was around. I think it was 4.8, and just because of how boring that kind of gameplay is, we had an almost 100% ban rate across all three international tournaments. Like all the
True.
playoffs of Fanta Cup, of Prince Cup, Pacific, Prince Cup Atlantic, exactly one match had the Whales
yeah,
playing,
exactly.
and that was the grand final of Prince Cup Atlantic. And what happened is that Whale automatically wins.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I
Yeah,
love.
so it's like basically to the point that every player will just gonna have their well deck as a lightning rod to force your opponent to ban it, because if you are just one slip of the fingers, your opponent insta get a free win out of nowhere.
What? Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All
Now
right.
let's talk about the
Let's move
let's
on to the.
like, I think back then we had like two big decks, right? So like in the last version we had like two big decks, Cheska Skirk and then Escolini. And of course
Yeah.
Cheska Skirk is like, pretty much nerfed by all the new updates. But because
Mario.
Escolini was not nerfed, I'm pretty sure was not nerfed that way, they have decided to actually nerf the HP. So
Yeah.
let's go through that.
All right. So Escalade got gutted. Let's just say it. Okay. I had this theory. I have this ingrained theory in my head in how GITCG designs cards. Because there is a convention to it. There is a sense, and there is a pattern that they follow. Sometimes they break this pattern, but for the most part, they follow this pattern. Now, when you think of in your head right now, think of the most boring, standard, no gimmick, no BS character card that you could make in your head. What would you give their kit? You'd give their kit 2 damage normal attack, that's physical. You'd probably make them a playable character that could use one of the 5 weapons. You would give their skill 3 damage and then an elemental application. And then you would give their burst like, I don't know, 6 or 5 damage and then an elemental application. And then there's no gimmicks. And then they'd also have 2 energy for their burst. That, in my head, is the baseline of every single character in terms of what they can output and what they can do with their kit. Any character is just taking a point of value from that metric and then assigning it onto other things in their kit. Like for example, Chongyun pretty much does the same thing. He has the extra gimmick of the Frost Field, and then his burst is 3 energy, but it does a little more damage. Who else?
You could use Mirror Maiden as an example. I do
Yeah.
think that's a pretty good like basic design ever.
Yeah, the most basic, boring design ever. Her normal attack has application, but it does 1 damage.
Yeah, basically a catalyst like, and
Yeah.
then again you have a 3 damage with a slight of gimmick, but
Yeah,
not
with
that much of a self.
Yeah, and then a 5 damage burst. Like, this is bog standard, watered down kit that is just as basic as it gets. But sometimes, when they're feeling a little freaky and they think they want to spice things up a little bit, they break their convention. They change things up a little bit. They give a character a little too much stuff, a little too much oomph that it really shouldn't have. And a very obscene example of that is Escoffier. Because her kit is very standard. Like, she has a official type summon. It does 3 damage, but it applies 3 element, but at different timings. It does it at the start, and then 2 at end phase, at different rounds. And it has 2 physical damage, and it is a burst that is 2 energy, but it heals 6 HP. So effectively, it's still the same hit point value, if you think about it. And then she also has a weird gimmick, which is fine. Like, every character deserves a weird gimmick, and that she has the multi-use cooking mech that can generate foods. That is fine. It's whatever. It's okay. But then, when I saw them overstep their bounds, is when they give her 11 HP. What that part was insane to me. Like, it felt like an overstep that they were just giving her a little too much stuff. Because if you think about it, characters that get buffed to 11 HP or 12 HP are characters that are inherently lacking in their kit design in terms of like keeping up with the meta. And like when you look at Kaveh in terms of his numbers, he got nerfed, so his gimmick isn't as powerful, but he remained 10 HP and he still has his shit base numbers. So they made up for it by giving him 12 HP. Same thing with Chicken. Where's Chicken? My goat.
Yeah, Chicken. Yeah,
Chicken?
Chicken.
Who has the standard kit, but it has a 4 damage burst, which is worse than the baseline, but it does have the gimmick of getting extra
and then
damage.
+2. I mean,
Depending on the
plus
type,
3 of
vitality.
those, I think.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
he's a Dendo character, so he's inherently technically more valuable than other characters, but that doesn't really matter.
The point
And
is like,
his kit was like lacking, and then they made up for him by giving him 12 HP, or they're trying to make up for it by giving him 12 HP. Escoffier, however, didn't have any of these flaws. She didn't have anything that was lacking in her kit. She didn't have a gimmick that was not as effective as other people's gimmick, or didn't contribute to her overall kit. It was all operating at optimal levels, even without the 11 HP. They gave it to her as a cherry on top, as like a little extra edge to give her as a character to make her seem more powerful than she actually is. And that's part of the reason why this deck was more notorious than it actually is. It just had more. That's the same thing with Topa, by the way, when it released at 12 HP.
I really think that they actually made this mistake like a lot of time, and yeah, undoubtedly, Hydro Topa is definitely one of the most recent example, and the other one is exactly Lord, who used to have a 12 HP with this insane baseline.
Yeah, and it has a 3 damage skill that here's the thing: the discard it draws from the top of your deck.
Yeah,
and
it really
people-
matters too.
Yeah, for some people, they think, oh, this is a detriment to the character. This is an extra cost that it has to pay for the skill that it's doing. No, it's not. For
No,
one,
it's not. It's an actual upside because it's actually also inherent with its passive. For discarding a lot, you get even more damage.
yeah, and also inherently, this discard is in a way it's still a mill. It mills the top of your deck so that you don't have to see one more card. Now, depending on whether or not you don't want to see that card or not is a risk, but at the end of the day, it's still milling a card from your deck. So it's still if you think about it, it's still draw one. It's still a draw one effect. Even if like it's best, like even if you don't want that card to be discarded, even if you're not running him in decks that specifically want to discard effects, it's still a draw one effect that could mill your deck for 1. And that's very important taking into consideration how good his kit actually is. And then his burst, it's okay. Baseline burst is kind of shit. I'll just say it. Like, this is a very bad.
I mean, it's still a 3 damage,
Yeah,
but however, it will then give you permanent +1 damage.
Yeah, it also and the burst itself can scale, and it gives you +1 damage, which is, I guess.
And then and then the 3 discard it uses will also synergize with his built-in passive.
Yeah.
Which yet again step closer to another +1 permanent damage.
And then on top of all that, he's 12 HP. He's 12 HP. He got nerfed to 11, which I think is still egregious. He should still only be 10. But on release, he was 12 HP, which was insane insane to me. It was absolutely.
And even worse is that Chaska and Whale also synergizes really well.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Dude, don't bring those things back.
So
okay. So the other example I might want to say it's probably Ian-san.
Yeah, Ian-san. Okay, but let's not. The point here is that some character kits just are given more in comparison to their contemporaries, which is bad game design, by the way. It's blatant power creep, and I don't think it's the way the TCG should be moving towards in the future.
Yeah, I feel.
And I'm glad
this released a lot of high initial HP. Just so happened that in the end you was just bring him back to the normal baseline with 10 HP.
Yeah.
This is how they should have released in the first place. Like, they should have been.
And funnily enough, people actually look down to Topa and really think that, oh wait, this guy is actually so bad. And then people just realize that, wait, no, this guy is actually really good. And then on top of that, he's 12 HP.
I think okay, actually here's my thoughts, right? I think it's like of course, like, we can't say that this is power creep, and I also don't want this power creep to happen too often, especially, like, if you are doing this in the middle of, like, a tournament, like, a tournament series, because, like, especially in China, like, they have these, like, the Genius Invocation, like, official tournament, like, series. And what happens when you put in, like, a deck that, like, cards that are way too OP in decks, in archetypes that are too OP, and, like, that basically just makes the season more boring, because, like, you have to wait until next patch. Like Genius Invocation doesn't really benefit at all from the 6-week cycle that the main game has. And until now, we have only seen like in terms of balanced hotfixes, there has only been one. Like, in its entire lifetime, there has only been one balanced hotfix. There has never been a second balanced hotfix.
Was that the Yelan?
Yep, that one. It was
it was Yelan and also the treasure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
dude, that was a effort.
Yeah.
I hated that.
It's already like more than 1 year, almost 2 years.
It's almost 2 years. Yeah. So, like, what I think is, like, the fact that, like, they have initial power creeps is pretty, like, common. Like, if you play the heated battle mode, that happens, like, because, like, right now they are cycling between, like, automatic artistry, which actually I don't think, like, really does much, and then the draft modes, right? And so in draft modes, they always try to push the new characters, and then, like, and now they also try to release the new characters like this. Then, like, I feel like they are trying to push too hard, like, push the new characters too hard, without knowing that sometimes these characters don't work, and sometimes they work too well, which creates, like, this kind of weird swing, right? So, like, some characters you release and then they just never get played, and then you have to try to buff them, and then, like, some characters you just, like, accidentally overstep, and then like, they just become, like, way too overkill, and then you have to nerf them later. At least this is Genius Invocation. This is not the main game. This does not make most of their money, if at all. So if something is too OP, they have to nerf it. They literally cannot, like, try not to nerf it, because if they try to nerf it, what that means is that they lose the players, which is pretty important if you are MiHoYo, if you are HoYoverse, that like you have to try to keep these players in, because otherwise you lose playtime. So like all in all, they have to balance anyway, and that's the one tool that they have, that and they want to use, that they have to use, that doesn't really happen in the main game. Regardless, I still feel like they should have tested these characters more thoroughly, so that they, like, new players still want to play them, but they don't immediately break the game, right?
Yeah. Okay, the thing is, every single time I see one of these broken characters that get released, I need to remind myself of the good old days, of the beauty and of the grandeur that the TCG devs could actually do. Because I look at Linny, and I am in awe at the beauty of this kit. Like, this is a perfect kit. You're not gonna get a more perfect kit than Linny's. In terms of balance and in terms of being actually decently powerful and feel like a fair character. Like, every single aspect of his kit, though it seems OP, it still feels balanced and fair. Like, he feels like the most fair character that they've ever designed. And with the new characters, it just feels like they do things that are just better. They're just better than the other characters at no downside of their on their own. It doesn't make sense to me that they could make a character that this pristine and this well thought out and this well balanced, and then just go the other side and make something so egregious as like Escoffier 11 HP or like 12 HP Hydrotopia and think that that's fine. Like, it has to be a conscious decision in terms of pushing the meta in certain directions. And I feel like they're not making the correct choices when they do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And maybe they are just running out of like avenues or like, what do you call it? Access of like creativity, because at the end of the day, there is a limited design space that they could make use of in terms of balancing characters, and outside of just like making things too weird. Like, they are bound within the constraints of the game design that they are of the game that they've set up. So they will eventually run into this problem, I understand, but the way that they handled the it just why does she get 11 HP, dude? Why does she get 11 HP? It doesn't make fucking sense. They understand that she shouldn't have that, but they gave it to her anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making sense, and that's fine too. But my hope for the future is they give us more Linnies rather than Escoffiers. More Linnies, please. More good balance, more well thought out kits, and is it? It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, speaking of well balanced, I actually want to talk about Skirk's kit for a little bit, because she didn't get any balance changes this patch, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
No,
basically
got
the
one.
entirety of Jessica Skirt
So
got
she's on
nerfed
the
by
top.
the game itself, and not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is that, well, none of the nerf actually matters her, especially in the playstyle with Skirchaska. She doesn't
Yeah.
really receive that much of a pressure or whatever stopping her from doing her normal stuff.
Yeah. Okay, the thing about Skirk that I like is that her kit makes sense, and also, if you really think about it, it's not that egregious in terms of like taking advantage of what you could in her kit. Like, there's nothing that's ostensibly popping out in terms of her kit that could just give her more value than she should. Maybe the burst deserves a little bit of a nerf. Like, I'm not sure. Maybe it shouldn't do 7 damage. Or no, not 7 damage. Like, it shouldn't.
The second part makes sense. It kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, no. I think it shouldn't get the energy as quick as it does, and it shouldn't be this accessible. But then it runs into the problem of like the other playstyle like you do with her, which is the NA spam, where if you nerf the Serpent Subtlety generation, it'll also nerf the other game style that she could do, which is like it's normal attacking a bunch. And that could be a reason why they can't nerf the Serpent Subtlety generation that much. But outside of that, her kit seems actually pretty fair in my head. Even accounting for Skirk Chaska bullet or synergy. Like even accounting for that, I think her kit is actually pretty fair. Or maybe that's a hot take.
I don't know, but as strong as it is, Skirt Chaska, but as a matter of fact, is actually really gatekeeping and tends to be really hard to master.
Oh yeah, there's also that.
Yeah, and you can always mess up everything if you are
Yeah.
not fully concentrate.
There is also the aspect of pilot, the difficulty to pilot a deck, and she is one of the harder ones to pilot because there is a lot of things that you need to keep into account when you're playing Skirk. But I think that's fair. I think cards that are harder to pilot should have, in general, better outputs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm unpopular in this thought. Maybe people think that she is too broken.
I mean,
and
in
that
my
she's-
opinion, Skirt is really hard to evaluate, given the complexity and some, I would say, difficulty piloting her.
Yeah. My only thing, if I'm going to nerf Skirk, is there's a limit to how many Void Rifts you could play in one round. You can still generate 3, but you can only play 3 per round. Like that's how I would nerf her in my head. Or maybe, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I do think that limiting like 3 Void Rifts per round being used, that also works because like usually most of the time that your average Ghost Chaser also use that many amount of Void Rift anyway.
Yeah, but she also has the weird stuff she could pull off, where she could start round 3 and then spam Void Rifts, and then just not
and
pass
just-
the turn and sweep the enemy team before they could even move.
Yeah, to low HP characters, she would just bypass their HP and then just kill them with multiple instances of -1, -1, -1, and then finish off high HP character with her explosive 7 damage burst.
Yeah.
And that's just not really. I'm not sure,
That's a,
but like yeah,
you know what that
basically,
reminds me
like
of?
you're effectively losing your game by not able to survive round 2 and let them get to act first, and also draw a bunch of bullets.
Yeah, you know what that reminds me of? Having a combo that you could pull off in round 3 that the enemy can't counterplay against.
Yay, Fair Dragon! I
Yeah.
love Fair Dragon.
It's akin to the Fell Dragon Solitaire decks, where if they pull off their combo, there is no counterplay, you will die in round 3.
And
Unless you have
effectively,
Team
it's making them an Exodia thingy. If you're just basically watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The very first episode, it's just basically essentially they have enough stuff for their Fair Dragon, and they're just gonna pull it off, and you basically instant lose the game without being able to react or do whatever to hopefully stop them.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they get to go, they will finish you.
Jordan, obliterate.
So true. My god. Dude, I can't wait for when he actually gets added. I wonder what he does.
Yeah, I wonder. No, but like seriously though, like we have this. I mean, like someone made an art of like Duran being so OP, and that's actually like a sticker in our server now. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Actually, now that we have done like go of that, let's go through the rest of the patterns changes.
I actually don't remember all of them. I know the monster cards
true.
got a bunch of HP buffs.
Yeah,
Nerf.
so as we already listed, we have first of all, we also have the Pyro Agent, who is now effectively 13 HP. I mean,
My
I do
god.
really think the Pyro Agent really deserved it. Back
Yeah,
in
he
the day,
does.
he was one of the first characters to receive 12 effective HP.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
got
they
nerfed
put
to 9 max HP, making him 11. I don't see why not, because nowadays we just basically see 12 direct HP characters. So
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
pretty much a fair trade. And
What
you also
else?
talked about the chicken.
We also talked about Normal, who's 6 now.
Yeah. I do think that the 6 HP novel buff is just basically sneaky. It doesn't essentially
It doesn't do anything.
good.
It doesn't do
It
anything.
really do anything. Where was that?
It
Let it
lives
go.
one fell dragon hit. Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Anyways, let's go on through a few more of these changes. So in terms of character, Stonehide Lawacho also gets up to 10 from 8
yeah.
now.
Oh right, yeah. Lava Show back to up to 10 HP, and his passive is just basically giving him 3 usages of their resistance, aka 13 effective HP, just like Agent.
Yep. We also got Chicken, who deserved it. This character deserved 12 HP more than any other character, and also it synergizes with his kit because he wants to get hit anyway, so that he gets more vitality stack.
So you get the passive for your big burst for the big chicken.
Yeah, big chicken.
Yeah, and
I don't know how to build him though.
You just build it with Peter. Don't people just build him with Peter back in the day?
Oh, yeah,
This
wait,
is pretty
hold
much
on,
the
hold on,
only
hold on.
dendro option.
Hold on. This is an update. I think this this deserves an update. This deserves an update to anyone who's listening now who hasn't been paying attention or who only comes here to listen to the bar table, or basically anyone who has left the game within the last year or two. Colley's talent has officially returned
Oh yeah,
to 3 cost.
that was dude. That was last patch though.
Yeah, it was last patch. But
Yeah,
I
that was
think it's-
previous patch, but oh well, we didn't have bar table previous patch, so
She's
there
actually
she is.
stronger than release Kali because she's 11 instead of 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the rest of her kit is including her passive. I mean her talent. It's back.
Her talent
Yeah,
is
it's
back.
back.
Yeah. I think the only thing that is different compared to back in the early days is that I think all of it happened in 3.3 and then got like nerfed in 3.4, right? So that the only thing that hasn't been rebuffed is catalyzing field, which I think is fair. We all feel like catalyzing
Why
field
was it
starting
four?
with 3.
Yeah, as we already also
was it
discussed,
plus
catalyzing field is pretty balanced now, as in now. So you basically plus 1 initially, and then you have the 2 next instances also plus 1. So effectively a 3 damage reaction.
Yeah.
So we do think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
One thing to point out is that
Oh yeah,
compared
Charlotte.
to the previous to the early days, we now have a way lot more good dendro option to go with Coley.
Charlotte also got 11 HP this patch.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a lot.
Correctly.
Oh, is it this patch? Oh,
think
that's
No,
perfect.
it's not this patch. I think that last
Wait,
patch.
no?
Hey, do you
That's
know
last
who
patch?
got
Oh.
who got 11 this patch though? Yelan.
Who?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nobody's
wait,
playing her,
that's
though.
actually cool.
She's the best
Yeah.
Hydro beat stick now because she's 11 HP 3 Hydro with
3
upside and
damage
NA.
hydro. Oh, and
Even
her
without
NA with the infuse also draw you a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all remember Yelan as like one of the victims of the hotfix.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was fair
exactly.
though. Her burst was broken.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do feel like her current burst is still pretty fine. Especially if with the high initial damage now, she's pretty much fit in most of the aggressive
Aggro combo decks.
strategies. Yeah,
Yeah.
rather than a lot of blind combo.
Yeah,
Who else got buff? I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Toma? Oh no, Toma was last
Yeah,
patch.
Thomas has
Toma
first
was
patch.
above
But like
a
there
lot,
there is
few
like
patches.
I think like since then, since the last time we run bar table, I think like the developers has used like HP changes more extensively, and I think it does
Yeah.
go to like reflect one thing that we have all that all of us as players, as seasoned players know that most casual players don't know, which is that HP matters in this game, right? Because like back then, every character, like most characters, just released with 10 HP, so people just think like, oh, it's just gonna be the same. But like most new players would look at that and would think that like everything looks the same. Except the whole point of this is that HP matters. Every single HP matters. Every single point matters. And so even giving like like even adding one extra HP or reducing one extra HP, even buffing your attack by one damage or like reducing it by one damage, all of that really matters. And I feel like like even without talking about like how like seasoned players really feel, right? The point is that new players now, when they look into the game, they will understand that, oh, the HP matters, the damage matters. So I think that like from a new player standpoint, having all of these balance changes, having all of these HP as balance changes, even though they kind of feels lazy, actually does reflect the game a little bit better than like how it used to be back in like 4.x to early 5.x when like most characters released with 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like pretty much every character has this basically exactly 10 HP and some with maybe a bit lot more. So for example, we have Hydro Hero who has 6 max HP with a built-in revive that heals it up to 4. And if we count that together, that's exactly 10 HP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but revives have a weird, what do you call it? A weird gimmick in that it could hypothetically help you take an extra shot by
Mm,
overhitting you with one uh skill and
yeah,
then forcing you to take two skills to take out the extra life because of the 4
yeah,
HP,
exactly.
which is an
Yeah.
awkward breakpoint because that's just above the 3 HP baseline of a lot of characters' elemental skill.
Yeah, and do remind that most of the elemental skill baseline is 3 HP, so he would just flip himself immediately after 2 hits.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, like that's basically all of it for like the HP based changes. We do have a few more changes. There's a few smaller changes in the action cards that we have not really mentioned about. First of all, Hot Spring O'Clock now heals one
Oh
less
yeah.
HP than
Oh,
previously.
right.
That's part of the Escalini nerf because all
Yeah, it's part
Escalini
of that's why
lists,
yeah, basically they just heal a lot
yeah,
with
they
a lot of
have
summons here.
spring.
Yeah,
True.
and again, one HP
I
matters
do
here.
really think that this card is supposed to be nerfed like, I don't know, 5 patches ago, just because,
That's
well,
true.
you basically healing 5 from one cost card. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care
too
that,
good.
yeah, I don't care that, yeah, you need
There's a
4 summons to
condition.
get that, achieve that. Like, most of the summon decks don't really care about that because it is just so good.
Like this card has a condition too, but it only heals for three.
Yeah, it
So
heals up to 3 and with a very conditional effect that you just have to receive cards that you're not uh put in your deck. But like Hospital will
yeah.
call immediately heal you for 5 HP. And
Yeah,
even
even
if
before.
it's not at this maximum effect, healing 3 or 4 immediately is still really strong. And
Yeah.
especially when we compare to, I don't know, Hash Brown maybe one of the I think it's one of the most popular cards back in the day, alongside with Lotus. Obviously, Lotus is better. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hash Brown basically a heal too, and it also got single-handedly power crept by Mystic Soup because Mystic Soup worst effect is
The peel
exactly
too.
Hash Brown.
Yeah.
So basically, I think so. Basically, Hash Brown got power crept.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. No,
Um,
but like it's baffles me to think about how even with the nerf, like Hot Spring O'Clock will still heal at maximum 4 HP, which is funny
Yeah,
when you think about, oh, you spend one die, but then you get like 4 HP after that. Like what? Anyways, we still have like 3 more cards. Well, I mean, so we have Demon Warrior's Feather Mask, which is an artifact that basically can we get that up, please? Yeah, that
oh
facilitates
yeah,
a
this one.
technique.
yeah. I think this could be
Yeah,
good. I
yeah.
don't know what list could run this, what because I don't know a lot of good decks that like to press techniques and also want energy.
I do
But I
think
think
that
this could be good.
the moment I remember that the as soon as this card was first released, people say that, oh, this is a new Genius buff because you get to grind her you get to grind her energy really fast because her burst is extremely good. And the fact that they actually make a Gina burst 3 energy, giving away that yeah her burst is extremely valuable, but like for I think this card was 2 costs the day it was
Yep, it was 2
released.
cost. It was 2 cost,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the buff is that it's now 1 cost. It was 2 on the
Yeah,
line.
I
That was
do
1.
think that this 1 cost version now is way better now because yeah, you actually get to use it pretty good.
I mean, under optimal circumstances, you could think of this as 1 dice for 1 energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing a list that wants the technique anyway.
Yep.
I do
So
think 1 dice for 1 energy is already pretty much in the middle because if you remember the electro res buff actually giving you 2 energy from 1 cost, and I do think
yep.
that it's basically it is technically the baseline of that. And then you just ignore Star Sign because who even plays Star Sign? Star Sign.
That's true.
Yeah. All right.
Star Signs is dead.
Yeah.
What's the other ones?
Okay, so we also have send off dice cost
Oh.
being buffed from 2 matching to 2 unaligned.
Oh wait,
It's not
send off
matter.
unaligned now?
Unless they revert its effect to the original effect, I don't
Oh
think it
wait,
matters.
that's kind of huge though. I do think that totally remove a summon is actually a lot more crazier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, send off, send off.
Wait, now I'm stupid.
Yeah, just sword, fan card. Let's go. Yeah, go back a bit more.
Send off is like one of
It's
the
really early.
Oh, wait,
Whoa.
where is it? Why is it so far away?
It's
Oh, there
early.
you are. There you are.
Yeah.
It's a release card.
Yeah.
It is
Send
now
off
to
is now
unwind.
2 unaligned. That's pretty good.
It's not good enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, even at 1 cost, I don't know if it's good enough.
Well, yeah. Especially, but I do think at 1 cost it is at least a lot better than quick need because who cares about quick need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what if it was 1 cost and it loses 1 usage?
No,
Oh, wait,
I
it
don't
is
think
really-
that's
it-
actually good because it's basically exactly a reverse quick need, no?
And
Quick
also,
need
it's the worst version
right.
of this one.
Blast.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if it only remove 1 usage, it's obviously correct by directional blast because it also do the same thing, but to every summon rather than just 1 target.
Maybe introducing another effect where it can only do it on summons that has more than 2 usages. So it's 1 cost, but it could only discard or lose 2 usages to summons that have like 3 usage or more. Like that could be cool. So it can't kill a summon completely, but it's still kind of good value.
I think it would actually be great if you want to get like Yaimiko's like summon because that's like one of the worst offenders in terms of summons these days. So
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also the reason why people opt to play Yamiko over a lot of electro summon options.
True.
And yeah, it's kind of sad that Inifa is trying to copy that and failed miserably.
yeah. All right. One last talk, and this time we are going back to the invalidation talk. We don't. Judgment is not the only card that got affected. We also have one more card that I think all of us know is getting affected by the change to the new status.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Fortress of Meropide. They have
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like half nerf, half buff it by requiring 5 stack now, but now it invalidates 1 card. And again, as we said, it's a random card, but that card will be unplayable totally, right? No matter what you do.
And the fact that it doesn't have to wait for the start of your next round anymore, because as soon as you reach 5 stack, you immediately activate its effect.
Kerching, wait. There's an asterisk to that. There's an asterisk to that immediate use of 5 prohibition points. So I was testing out Fortress of Meropide. Well, I was fighting someone in Fortress of Meropide. I was trying to figure out some counterplay against it. And I don't know, for some reason, I thought if it got to 5 prohibition points and I didn't have any cards in my hand, it will lose the 5 prohibition points and waste the stacks. But no,
Ooh.
if you have cards in your deck and it has 5 prohibition points, it won't consume it. It will wait for you to have cards in your deck and then apply the debuff.
Yo, wait, that's actually crazy.
It is. It's a very niche but important interaction that makes the card
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah, so basically, as soon as it reaches 5 stacks, you're pretty much unable to avoid it. As Coffin said, it would just basically sit there and wait until you have your card so it can negate it.
Yeah. It's very good.
And
It's a
yeah,
very good card.
yeah. And if you compare to the 4 stacks, I do think that decks that tend to use it already don't care about how many stacking you actually make because you most likely gonna have like a lot of instances of healing, and especially if
Uh,
we take the rifle reward decks, right? Some of them can actually grind the energy from 1 to 3 immediately without spending an action by just spamming food and then some niche self damage stuff, just like Tada and Macron, and then you
yeah.
also have Maiden stuff. So yeah, it's not much of a problem if you were gonna do a lot of healing anyways. So I do think that the 5 stack doesn't really matter. And on top of that, this card is stackable now.
True. You can run both. Previous Fortress of Meripede, you could only run one, but now you can run both and double your prohibition application. Anyway,
Yeah, and
this is
that's
all to
just
say,
really good.
any deck that runs Meripede wants to run Meripede even.
Yeah. Yeah, so essentially, right?
Yeah. So that's pretty much like what
Yeah.
what we have.
Whoa.
So
All right, any more balance changes?
yeah, I think that's it for the balance changes. We don't have any more, so I think let's go to the last part, which is, well, basically what we feel about, like, what all of these means to the, to the next version, because we have just started the version, and what it means is that we are going to see some of these news cards being played in upcoming tournaments, especially 5 weeks of weeklies, which starts, by the way, this Sunday. So what do you
Oh.
think of this means for like the meta ahead? Like, are Escolini and Chaska dead? Do you think that there would be like a new archetype that rises up? Like, what do you think?
If someone brings Escolini to the next weekly and they get 5-0, I will do something tentative. Something cool. Not something cool. Something embarrassing. And something emasculating? Nah. But all I'm saying is, if someone still manages to win with this Escolini, with the nerfs that it's gotten, and the new toys that we got, and with all the previous knowledge and like, I don't know, vitriol people have against the deck, then I'll be very surprised if they could still pull off the BS that they've been pulling off for the past 2 patches. And as for Skirk Chaska, I don't know, dude. Let it have its time in the sun. I'm sure eventually they will hard nerf it by targeting the actual character cards itself instead of just releasing counterplay. Because right now the counterplay aren't that effective against actually.
They're not.
They're not
Oh,
actually effective in stopping the Skirk Chaska's game plan. So
yeah.
we'll
Yeah, to
see.
be fair, they really try to attempt to hit them with the direct counter called Passing of Judgment, but the problem is that, as I always say, Skirt Chaska will just instantly fold to old Judgment anyways, and they will probably just run a lot of backup plans. So
Okay.
yeah, reworking a card just to counter a specific deck, that an old version that would still do the job, it's not something that really I'd say it's not necessary at all.
Yeah. Also, Skirk Chaska, it isn't as hard to match into. in comparison to Escolini. Whereas it's actually hard to find a hard counter to Escolini. But for Skirt Chaska, there are counters to it. Like
Yeah,
the Arlecchino lists, they're pretty good at walling the Skirt Chaska. Hydro stall list that run like Coco or like characters that just have a bunch of backloaded HP are also pretty good at countering Skirt Chaska. Like there's actual good, decent counterplay against her.
yeah, and as we all say, you could always play Judgment, and they would effectively skip their turn or just basically do some ineffective lines that they just happen to have to play because they just simply don't have any other choice. Yeah, other than that, I do really think that Skochaska will still gonna be around until they finally try to nerf the
It depends on
damage
how
directly.
it depends on how dominant she will be, but I think people will abuse her in this patch.
But yeah, do still reminder though, Skirt Chaska is still a very high skill display ground, so yeah.
Be careful in how you play her.
And don't feel so negative about facing them because they
Yeah.
may gonna misplay a lot and you still have a lot chance winning. And on top of that, they always have a slight chance to miss their round 1 line.
True. There is a fail percent, unlike other decks.
Yeah.
Looking at you. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
Yeah. For some reason, Escolini always roll like 7 usable, man. That's just so unfair.
Yeah. What else? Any meta decks that carry over from the last patch?
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah, most of them do. It's just the Escalini that got hit the hardest.
I'm surprised that no one is actually talking about the Melusine Eventualist. That's been around in the CN's tournaments, but we actually rarely see it in global territory, and nobody's actually talking about them, whether they are nerfed or untouched or whatever. They just be there. I mean, previous patch, they were actually nerfed because the Melusine Sword actually now requires you to play 9 different cards.
Well, Melusine Sword. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Melusine Sword. Yeah.
But the Adventure, the Chenyu nerf was barely a nerf. It was a nerf with an asterisk.
Sometimes it's actually acting as a really good buff because you might sometimes don't want to proc it way too early because you might play into freeze, for example, because Escolini or Skirt Chaska, they are all cryo characters.
Yeah. Also, the 8 stacks is just a better tempo to match in terms of being a mid-range deck and then maximizing the heal potential of the card while minimizing the risk of the Hydro app.
Well, the Melu Sword nerf, I do think that this changes is actually pretty fair, given the fact that you actually have a lot better ways to generate extra cards now. So, and as a matter of fact, people still get the full +3 damage from the sword anyway. Seamlessly, because it is just so easy to achieve this point.
And even then, even just getting the 4 extra thing is already pretty good. Like +2 is still a decent value for the
especially on a 2-cost card, right?
Yeah.
Because your standard 2-cost 3-star weapon is just gonna be a +1. And it is so miserably bad that people have to Hoyo has to release like the Sumeru theme, the Kingsfire, effectively a 1-cost +1 damage weapons, or Moon Piercer, or Sapwood Blade, or sort of that. Yeah, but they do have a gimmick that works well with Unseen Razor, but it's 2026. I don't think people actually do care much about these anymore.
Well, I do. I like them.
Well, you do. Yeah.
I like them.
I mean, I also love Weapon Bistic though, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, well. Any other meta decks you want to talk about?
I'm not sure. I think that's pretty much everything I could say from the meta decks and
Yeah,
how
me too.
things are going around.
Well, we got. Yeah, I'm done. I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to talk about Big Boat? Anybody like Big Boat?
What do you mean big boat? Is this
It
a
is.
is it a boat list?
No, it's
Or is
not an
this
actual list.
it-
This is the Slovakia list. And it's the Big
he's
Boat.
foreshadowing something. I see. He's foreshadowing.
Big
Surely there
Boat.
Big
shouldn't be any
boat.
incident.
Yeah, Big Boat.
Big boat.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm tapped out for today. I've spoken my piece. I've ranted. What else have I
Yeah,
done?
who would have thought that there would be so many things to talk about for one specific patch only? I do really think that we were planning to talk about some other patches as well.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, I don't know what to talk about if we did do that though. So we need to do some
Yeah, true.
research beforehand.
Yeah, I feel like we might have to talk about all of that in like another version, but like I feel like, you know, for all of this, one of the big problems is that it's already taking like way too long. If we actually spend time to talk about all the previous versions now, it's gonna take like 5 hours, which is actually like let me just check. I think the last time, yeah, we had like 1 3.5 hours episode and one almost 4 hours episode, and like all of that, and like two of that was just like just one
Whoa,
version.
TKB disappeared.
Oh, sorry, I had to turn on push to talk, and even then it's not that effective because like for some reason Spotify just like cuts down if you speak for more than 30 seconds.
That's all good.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I really need to like troubleshoot it in like future streams, which actually, by the way, I am actually considering that we turn this into a weekly thing, because the bar table, like, it really needs to be weekly. Like maybe the first week we talk about all of these, and then like subsequent weeks, right? Subsequent weeks
Okay. Ooh, what the hell?
yeah, like subsequent weeks we talk about like just like what
Okay,
happened last
here's my
week.
thing with bar table. Some weeks they're just dry. They're just really dry, and there's not a lot of things to talk about during those weeks, which is kind of a shame. So I think we should bring some gimmicks for when those dry weeks do come up.
Yeah,
And talk about some.
Yeah, I do
other
think
stuff.
we can come up with that. I do feel that like as always we will have to do that. I am even thinking that we bring back like backroom invitation, like unironically bring back backroom invitation.
What's that?
What?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, right, backroom invitation is like a series of GITCG back then, when what we do is that we basically invite one of the guests and like get them to like go through one of the decks, like basically all about the deck. So like they
I
bring
don't
one deck and they talk about that one deck, just basically yapping about that one deck. So like theoretically
Wait.
you can have a whole episode of like someone just yapping about like that deck, that one single deck, and like someone who just yap about like Cheska skirt the whole time.
Whoa. Why are you guys inviting me to a episode? I'm already hosting. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I think
mean,
that could be something that like can be incorporated into a bar table. I think that like overall, I think having like every episode, like actually even like having shorter episodes in like dry weeks would help. And then like we have some other stuff, like we can have like 30 to 45 minutes like covering, what happened last week, and then the rest is just basically going to be like some fun stuff that we do. I think it's one thing that we're missing, like the previous like meta, like back when before this was called the bar table, which is also why this is episode 3. We actually did the bar table is actually
only episode 3.
It's 3. No, because we only had like 2 bar table episodes, and before that, this was not called the bar table. It was simply just the meta podcast, and then we call it the bar table because like I have a reason for this. Basically, what I wanted to do with the bar table it's not just about meta. I think meta is just something that like, oh, you talk once and then you never think about it again. Like something you just do once per patch. And so calling it the bar table allows all of us to just talk about more than just the meta, right? So like we can talk about the scene, we can talk about all the fun stuff. So yeah.
True.
Yeah, true, exactly. Because the game is not only about winning; it's about like you just play the game whatever do you like, and especially you can have fun.
But we do want to play the
And-
game, and we do want to talk about the game because the
Yeah,
game
exactly.
is what brought us here in the first place. And if we're not
Yeah.
talking about it, then what are we doing?
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah. So that is basically the plan for the future. I really want to like figure out what we can do. I can't say for sure though that we
But any
that we will have
Sorry.
like a next episode. It will probably happen next week.
Yep.
Yeah, and like
got anything else to announce to QP before we finish wrapping up the episode?
Yeah.
I don't think I can sleep much right now.
Alright, that's
So
cool.
yeah, I mean like it's already too late. It's already too late now, especially for Kerching, who's like I think like it's like 4 or 5ish.
Yeah, so we
Yo,
should
why are you
wrap it.
exposing my why are you exposing my address, bro? You're not supposed to do that.
What? It's just a
Yes,
time
it
zone.
is.
It's just a time zone.
The Hoyo assassins are already coming for you, Kerching. Watch out!
I will
Close
be
your
exposed
windows.
as soon as you can
Mark
find
them
out
off.
my time. I add my time more. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Anyways,
over.
yeah.
Yeah, that's basically
I
it.
mean, I'm also looking forward to seeing a lot more the Bar Tables episodes in the future, though. Personally, yeah.
Yeah, I do hope.
I would love to yap more, and to have
Yeah.
people be forced to listen to my yap more.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
And yeah, it would be a lot better too if we actually get to have some more guests as well.
Yeah,
True.
it's
So
been
hopefully.
yeah. I think like eventually we can have like more like community members to join too, and I think that would be like just a really great experience overall. But then again, like I think this is one of those things that I think about sometimes. That like how are we supposed to like grow this outside of China? Like China they have their tournaments, right? But then here we don't really have our own tournaments. So the not like as in like we don't have official tournaments in a sense. So the whole
We got
question.
tournaments.
Yeah, we have tournaments, but we don't have official tournaments. Cat Sale Gathering is dead since like over a year ago at this point. So
2 years,
yeah,
2.5.
so really, I think it's just like starting the end of 2024, so it's more like 1.5. Like
Dude, it's 2026.
no, like end of 2024 to start of 2026, so it's more like 1 year and a half, not 2 years and a half.
Yeah, about 2 years then.
But like anyway, the whole point is that I feel like we should like personally try to make the game like way better. I have ideas. I'm just trying to figure out like
How to make the game better. Release Varka in the TCG right now. Send him our way. Who cares if it's a new character? Send us Varka.
Yeah,
It'll be
exactly.
insane. But yeah, like I feel
Yeah,
like
just give us our all-time favorite characters, and we'll figure it out. All right.
Well, we'll design the characters, we code it into the game, and then we can just play it in the freaking client ourselves. It's perfect.
imagine.
I mean, you could also draw a character on the cardboard yourself, and then just whatever. And then
Wait,
you just use it.
you're so right, Kerching. Wait, you're a genius.
Okay, here's the thing though. I don't know how to draw. All right. I really suck at art. Okay. So
You're telling me you didn't draw your profile picture yourself? Look at it.
Well, I'm not. Well, obviously, I'm not. But
Okay, never.
it's basically a I remember it as a meme. I think. Anyway, it's not. It's yeah.
We're bantering. Guys, we gotta go to sleep. It's been a long day. We got anything else to announce? Oh, I already said that. Oh yeah, look
Yeah,
forward to
I really think
look forward to the Sunday weekly tournaments. The ones that will be held will be Europe and North America. There's also the upcoming Lantern Rite tournament hosted by AAA. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have.
And outside of that, just play more TCG. Have fun. Try out the new lists I sent. Those are good.
Yeah.
Surely. Especially the Mika one. Have
Nah.
fun with that one, guys.
That's one of the best clickbaiting
Oh,
ever.
try it out. Try it out. It's good. Trust.
You know what?
What
You know what? I have an
How
idea.
is it, Takibi?
I have an idea, right? Like,
What is it?
I think we should just someday, right? Just give people one day, and then tell everyone to go raid the normal matchmaking queue, not Arena of Champions, the normal queue. Because
Why?
I see that the concern is that the queue is dead, and so what happens is that if we can like show everyone that the only way to keep the queue alive is if you actually play by getting everyone to play at the same time.
Okay, but what's the point though?
The point is that I just want people to like understand that they decide if the queue is alive or not. Because like I always hear people say, I always see people saying, "Oh, the queue is dead, so I don't play on the queue. I play on AOC instead," and that's a problem.
And then yeah,
I
pretty
guess
much
just-
everyone also thinks the same, and then more and more people are also joining to play AOC instead of actually playing the random matchmaking.
Okay, that's fine though. In my head, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's just how markets flow. Is that
Yeah.
when certain places get like phased out of the market and something else is fills the demand of the people? Because okay, the thing about random matchmaking is there is invisible MMR, and because of the invisible MMR, there is a higher level of mental input each player has to put into each game. While AOC, you just queue and you let it ride. You let it ride.
Yeah,
it doesn't
you're
matter.
totally chill.
Yeah, it's a.
You don't
it's a
even
more
know if your
chill-
opponent is good or not, dude.
Yeah, it's a chill and streamlined experience. It's the same reason why in like popular matchmaking games, like classic or not classic, or like it's the reason ARAMs is so popular in League, even though it's such a shit and garbage freaking game mode. It's just chill, it's streamlined, and it's very low stakes and low pressure. And it's the kind of thing that most TCG players who play casually are looking forward to.
Yeah,
And
but
they
So
just
basically, yeah, casual players they just find joy playing there, and then we somewhat dedicated players also find that if we are gonna do matchmaking, that's gonna take a long. I just wanna have a few games, man. I don't care who my opponents are. I just wanna have fun.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
especially like that.
because like I seen Arc yesterday, right? I think all of us saw like Arc stream yesterday. He said it was a short one. It was not. But what happened is that like there has been a moment it's like, oh, this opponent is a casual. I'm just gonna top right. So I think it's a problem too. I feel like right eventually there will be a point where I feel like it would be better if we just basically make we need to have like both queues at like approximately like equal numbers. Then we would have something. Otherwise, I don't even know like how we're supposed to deal with that because like if a queue is dead and then the other queue players just want to top right when they see a player that is not worth playing, then what's the point in consolidating everything into one queue, right?
It's fair. Okay, here's my idea. We let people. We invent a leaderboard system where you have to queue in the random matchmaking, and each win you get gives you a certain number of points in the leaderboard. And then the higher your points are, and then the people who have high points, they get put on a leaderboard, and we can have like a sort of ranked matchmaking that doesn't that doesn't need people to like register at our freaking database or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that we have a innate pool of players that are always cycling through that if they do want a game, they could just wait for a couple of minutes. I'm sure they'll get matched into somebody, and that'll have people play in random matchmaking, while also like reinvigorating a pre-existing matchmaking thingy here in our server. So they just need to send you a proof of victory, or like maybe like their, what do you call it? The freaking match history replay thing. It has to show that it was in fact a random matchmaking match and not AOC, because I think it shows it there anyway.
Yeah,
And-
it does.
And then they just send that screenshot, and then after it gets verified, they get their points and they move on.
I think at the end of the day, right? All of what this means is that casual players, they want fast win, fast loss, go home. And yeah, I mean, it's fair, but like we have to kind of figure out like how to make this fun, quick system like, you know, also like fair to players. Like eventually the system has to lead to something and not just, oh, you know, it's just like, you know, just instant gratification. I mean, instant gratification is nice. It's basically like the whole shtick of the whole gacha genre. But I think like for a card game, especially if you want to like grow the community to the point where, you know, you have like a whole spectrum of players, like chess, because like I think that chess is like, chess had a boom.
Okay, GITCG isn't chess, and we do not nearly have the same amount of history or story as as chess. It is a very different game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that back then you have to be like interested in chess, like very invested in chess. And now
Wait, what?
anyone can just go online. Anyone can just go online, like, you know, become a chess player. Even 1,000 elo matches are also enjoyable. Even streamers playing chess is enjoyable. So the whole question is like, why is GITCG not able to, like, you know, get to that point or even close to that point? Why are we still stuck in like this whole point where, like, you know, the best videos, the best content is just people playing meme decks instead of like, you know, struggling in AOC?
I've explained it before, and I'll explain it again. Actually, not live or in any recorded fashion. GITCG or TCG players, or people who gravitate towards these kinds of games, are not the same kinds of players that gravitate towards gacha games. We are on the entirely different sections of the Venn diagram. It is very hard to convert a Genshin player into a TCG player. And it's also very hard to get TCG players to get into Genshin. Is this a baseline? Is this is this a matter of fact? There are two very different types of people. And the types of people who sought out GITCG and then stuck to it are very few and very, very niche. Like, how do I explain this? The demographics just do not match in terms of the content that is available and then the people that can access the content itself. And unless we drastically change the demographic of people who play the Genshin and gacha games, or we make the game itself more accessible to people who would fit the type of demographic that this kind of game would appeal to, then we cannot inherently increase our player base. We are limited by the medium under which we play the game in. Like, it is as simple as that. It is the fact that you need to play Genshin Impact to play GITCG. That is it. That is our limiting factor.
I think that is the entire point. I think I'm not the only person. I think we are not the only people to say this. But basically, yeah, like that's the whole problem with this game. That, you know, gacha players are not likely to play like any sort of thing that's not gacha. Like, you know, to the point where I feel worried for Mini Gacha Wonderland, because, like, you know, they launched like like, you know, an event recently where like, oh, you have to like play Mini Gacha Wonderland and you have to play in Beyond mode, so no like DPS, like no DPS check, just to get 60 primos. And a lot of people felt a bit like they felt awful about it. Most of them gacha players. So that's the whole thing, right? That's the whole point of this. That is that, you know.
Yeah, and this is all building up towards finally announcing we are building our. I'm just kidding. But that'd be crazy though, right? What if we built our own client where we can all play GITCG and it's easily accessible and we could just share this website and we can all play it. And we have different freaking formats where it's different version patches and it's different characters that are meta. And we have special formats that we could also modify. Like, think Pokemon Showdown, but for GITCG. That'd be awesome.
I think we can eventually get there. Just please don't monetize it. We won't know what's gonna happen if we monetize it. Like it's gonna be a total terms of service breach. We don't want that, so please do not monetize it. But yeah,
Also, isn't Pokemon Showdown getting cracked down by Nintendo or Game Freak?
But anyway, yeah, we actually basically get the idea. So basically, yeah, as a player, I do also want to like revise some, revisit some of the old meta patches that have been missed for a very long time. So basically, yeah, because like GTG is basically getting updated every single patch, and it is almost likely enabled and impossible to play the game and feel it the same way as we did before. So you can, so yeah. So for take the Jet for example. So
Yeah.
back in the day, Jet is basically absolute crazy, generating a bunch of dice. It is like near impossible to recreate such a gameplay like that anymore, just because we no longer we don't have the way to modify the card. We cannot play basically the same format as before.
Mhm.
Dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, software devs, web devs, reach out. Talk to us. We have a great work opportunity for all of you. I'm just kidding.
No, no,
We do.
no. Just don't
what
make
if
it a
you do
job.
it on your
Just
own?
don't make it a job, please. Like if you make it a job, then that's definitely a TOS breach. But yeah,
wow.
we do want to ask, and I think this is a very important ask. If any of you is still watching, that it's basically time for us to actually strike, because
Right.
yeah, strike.
Strike what?
Not really as in the sense of like,
Copyrights?
oh, we are going to like revive this whole game back up. It's not
That
something
ain't
you do.
happening.
It's not
Not anytime
no.
soon.
No, because like you don't revive a game in like one version. It's too short of a time. You don't give people 1.5 months, and then expect people to like expect this game to immediately go viral. It's not how it works. It's not how most card games in the world work. Like it's not how most card games in the world works. But we need to start now, because one of the bad things about like GITCG is that it's a digital game, and a digital game that has been getting less attention over time. This is not Hearthstone. This is not Shadowverse. This game, I mean, it does have a physical version, but we all know that like right now it only has like 54 cards, 54 character cards, and we have that almost 120. So it's like less than half the cards right now, less than half the character cards. So basically what I'm saying is that if we want to push the developer, which is Mioyo, to do stuff, then we also have to push like the game forward. We have to
ain't
push the
pushing
community
shit.
forward.
If CN can't force their hand into anything, we can't do shit.
We will.
Yeah.
We have even less power.
All right. This
And
is
also, we are a microcosm of a microcosm of the community. We have less. In terms of like, if you think about it like a voting block, we're like in a bottom 10th percentile of people that the freaking company will even look towards when it comes to considering business decisions or like stuff to consider when doing their freaking game development or whatever. Like, they do not care about us, bro. We gotta do this shit ourselves, or most of it.
no. I have a hot take. A very hot take.
What is it?
Do you remember in the two dev streams of special programs, Luna 1 and Luna 4?
Yes.
There is
Yeah.
one
Yes.
thing that they said. Both streams. they said that they want to build Genshin Impact into an evergreen IP, an intellectual property that outlives the game, an intellectual property that lives 5 years, 10 years.
They want to make
20 years.
They want to make Genshin Impact Mickey Mouse, but the thing is,
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse doesn't have an active TCG scene. There's no trading card game for Mickey Mouse, and even if there is, it's just scalpers and collectors trying to make a quick buck by like exploiting the market and trying to get more money out of it. There's
Coffin,
no
you have never heard of Disney Locana.
No, I'm not. I am surprised you know about it. I did not know that there was a Disney TCG. Okay, but the fact is, I don't. Does Disney care about their TCG? I don't think they do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they do as much, but I do have one thing to say.
Okay.
The TCG is actually, and if we push this correctly, it can be part of the long-term plan. Maybe it will never be the part of the short-term plan. The TCG almost doesn't make money. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
Wait, no, they do.
no,
they
they
make
do,
money
but
out
like
of
I said,
the physical
almost. I said
release.
almost. I don't say totally, but I said almost. What I'm saying is that, okay, it does not make immediate money. It doesn't push gacha sales. But what it does do is that if we give it enough exposure, it will eventually become part of the culture. And the culture is exactly what it means for like an intellectual property to become an evergreen. Like, you never define Mickey Mouse over just one film, over just one series. It became an icon. The same thing with Pokemon. Actually, Pokemon is like a success story in turning an intellectual property into lifestyle. Now it's everywhere. Now all the gamers remember
You
would
can
say that
breathe, eat, and sleep Pokemon.
yeah, and so what I'm saying is that and also happy 30th anniversary to Pokemon, by the way. Even though this is the bar table, we don't discriminate games. But yeah, the whole point is that that's Pokemon is one of the examples of a
So
success
you
story.
want to turn all of us into massive Genshin Hoyo shells who live, breathe, eat Genshin products?
To be fair though, it might be better than gacha sales. Obviously, it's not it's merch sales not going to give Hoyoverse money. It isn't going to give as much money. But eventually, Genshin will die. As with most live service games, they don't go on forever. Stories don't go on forever. You cannot ask Hoyo to write extended stories. They did it once. Honkan back
They
third.
do want to do that though. They really do want to do that so badly for Genshin. That's
No.
why they did not cry and everything.
No. The point is that they did it once, and they kind of failed. Honkan back third.
What?
Yeah, they finished part 1, and then they do 1.5, and now this is part 2 of the story, and it kind of flopped.
Oof.
So yeah, that's the point. What I'm saying is that eventually stories will end. Eventually games will die. Even maybe after the Teyvat arc, we will have a different game. It's not going to be Genius Invocation anymore.
Genshin Impact 2 with Genius Invocation 2. Now you have 6 character cards instead of 3. And you have 2 of them active at the same time. It's like double battles in Pokemon.
No, but that's the whole point, right? What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, TCG cannot win a short game. It will never ever be part of Hoyo's the marketing strategy.
Yeah.
We are seeing it right now. They have already winded down all the TCG operations. But the one thing that it can do is become part of the long term. If you walk out with the TCG, if you get people to play it, if you can get people to play it, that is, and then they start liking it, then maybe you as a TCG player are pushing Hoyo's long term plan. And if enough of you do that, they will notice. Just saying.
Okay. Okay, TQB. I'll be honest. It's really late. We should wrap it up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
but
think
for
so.
real.
I think
I do think that we already talked about this topic for
The
past
well is
20
running
minutes.
dry, and my throat is drying up as well.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We should
You
try
gotta
to push
save
this.
some of the yap. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
You might see
So,
some of
to
these
wrap it
actions
up-
pretty soon. So yeah, that's all. So I think that's pretty much it for now. And I would say that we all of us have to go to sleep. What I can say though is that we will at least have a second bar table within this version. It might be next week.
Yeah.
It might be 2 weeks after. I'm not sure. I really need
It
to
might
figure
be
it out.
1 week before the next patch comes out, or as well. Like, who
It
knows?
could be, or probably after the next patch, special program perhaps. You can't tell.
I think
True,
we
who
can have a. Okay, I'm thinking there are a few ways to do it. I cannot say for sure. We can either do
Yeah.
weekly, or bi-weekly, or like tri-weekly. I'm not sure, but I can
Tri-weekly
say
means
once every 3 weeks.
yeah, it's like 2 per patch.
Yeah, no,
That's
but like I'm
tri-weekly.
still thinking about it. But one thing's for sure though, if you are asking, Coffin, if you did ask for like a post special program stream, maybe we should. Maybe we should. At least I would be watching.
True.
So yeah, that's the one thing that I can say. We will have another bar table in this version. That's promised. And I probably shouldn't skip on this promise because we kind of have to keep this game going until eventually we get to something meaningful, whether that is to preserve the game or even to get the developers' attention, whatever that is. We don't know where we will get, but as long as we can get to something, we should. So yeah, that's
You
gonna
want to
be
get the developers' attention?
maybe, just maybe.
Okay, well, I have this very cute Yunli cosplay in my room right now. If you wanna try put it on, I'm sure that'll get their attention.
Coffin,
You know what I'm referencing?
Coffin,
I'm
no.
sorry.
First of
I'm
all,
sorry.
First of all, no, we don't talk about that. But if you really have it though, do you?
I will not confirm or deny the truth and validity of the previous statement.
We will talk about this in private.
Okay.
Yo.
No. But seriously though, I am thinking, we might have to try to get attention because well, how else? But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. We will.
I would like to also add the hypothetical Yun Li costume that is sitting in my room is unused. If that's
Yo.
any consolation. Hypothetically.
Hypothetical.
It may or may not
Yo,
exist.
is that even essential?
Oh, I hate you, Coffin. But yeah, that's it. I think that it's finally time to wrap up this episode of the bar table. It's already too late now, and I've already yapped too much about the future plans.
Yeah.
But I do have to say that I am going to commit to it now. There's no going back.
Person
That's
could
all I can
only
say.
rant about how broken Escolini is for so long, and now we've run out of things to say.
Yeah. So
And I'd
yeah.
like to say, everybody, good day to you all. I'm going to sleep.
All right. Good night to all.
Thanks
of
for
you.
listening to us. Okay.
Yeah.
You.
For tuning into this podcast.
But yeah, that's good.
Uh,
I don't.
TB, sign us off. Sign us off. I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right. That's gonna be the end for now, and that's it. We're gonna see you the next time. Sometime this patch. Maybe next week. We don't know. We will tell you about that next time, though, not like this one. All right. See ya.
Yeah, bye-bye.